listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season. Bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Yes, welcome to Peaks Reserve for today's Eastland Match of the Round. Division 1 Elimination Final out here today between Montrose and Wantirna South. The winner to face Park Orchards in next weekend's first semi-final out here at the home of the Division 1 Grand Final, whilst the loser will begin preparing for their footy trip as their season comes to a close. Who will remain alive in the Division 1 Finals and Premiership hunt? Find out right here on 98.1 Radio Eastern FM and streaming right around the globe on YouTube and Facebook. I'm Josh Ward. An elite panel assembled for the pre-game ahead of this massive Division 1 elimination final. First up, the man who was out at Walker Park yesterday and is back on special comments today as well for this big Division 1 clash. None other than Wayne Brasher. Welcome, Brash.
Thank you very much, Josh. Always looking forward. When finals come to town, you just got to love it, mate.
It's exciting, and it's exciting to be out here at Pinks Reserve.
Most definitely.
Which is a fantastic facility as well. And to your left as well, it's a pleasure to have this man on pre-game after no doubt he's had a very busy weekend. Matt Spider-Lee, welcome to AFNL Match of the Round as well, mate.
Afternoon to you, Josh, Brash, and all of our listeners and viewers. Great to be here. Looking forward to this afternoon's clash. Promising for both sides, but has been a busy weekend at the AFL level, but more importantly here this afternoon, it's going to be even bigger at FNL.
Yes, it certainly will be. There's plenty of games. Of course, there's 3 other finals taking place this afternoon. We've got plenty of games to discuss in the build-up to this contest as well. We're going to be joined by Brett Johnson at about 20 past 1. Jason Heffernan to join us at about 1:40 before bounce down out here, or the first ball up out here at Pinks Reserve. So why don't we get stuck into some of the important Premier Division clashes taking place, or that took place yesterday afternoon. And of course, a lot was riding on the double chance out at Zerby's Reserve and out at Vermont Recreation Reserve, as everyone would have known, as everyone would have heard on the Final Word podcast on the pre-game yesterday. The situation as to who would finish in the double chance. If Vermont won and Doncaster East lost, they would have gotten the double chance, and Doncaster East would start off the final series with a do-or-die final, and that's exactly what happened. The lines, in the end, heartbreakingly went down to East Ringwood, 12-4-76 to the Roos, 11-12-78. It was an up-and-down contest out at Zerby's Reserve for most of the contest. East Ringwood hit the lead late and were able to hold sway against Doncaster East, who did come charging in those final couple of minutes, but the Roos stood firm and were able to get over the line. Josh Waitman was listed their best player on the ground. Josh Fox and Will McRae kicked 3 goals each. Jay Rankin was listed best on the ground. The Twin Towers were prominent for Doncaster East. Tim O'Brien kicked 4 and Josh Shackey kicked 3. And as mentioned, Vermont held off Berwick in the end late. They held a steady lead for majority of the contest out at Vermont Recreation Reserve, but won by 4 points in the end, 15-7-97 to the Wickers, 14-9-93. Tom Grimster was listed best on ground. Sam Wiedemann, another 4 goals. He's entering this final series in really good form. Oscar Dunn also kicked 3 and Lachlan Jenkins kicked 2, whilst for the Wickers, Daniel Pinter, his first game of the season, played up forward and kicked 4 goals. Harry Canning, Samuel Frangelis and Matthew Nelson kicked 2 goals each. Caleb Van Oosterveen was listed best on ground, but that's a chance missed for Doncaster East, Rush, to get the double chance. And for Vermont, it's remarkable to think they're set to compete in a qualifying final next weekend out at Jubilee Park against Roval.
Yeah, you know, as I've said to many of our team members, I went and watched Vermont round 3, and the only other time I watched them was against South Croydon at round 16. And in round 3, they were playing Blackburn at Blackburn, and they were struggling to run 2 or 3 quarters out of football. They also had to survive another scare when I watched them later on the season against South Croydon. I'm to be honest with you, they've taken me by surprise, this Vermont side.
Really?
They really have taken me by surprise this year.
I think they've taken a lot of us by surprise.
You know, look, there were signs there. I agree, Spider, there were some signs there last year that that this side could make improvements this year, and I accepted that. I honestly thought at the start of the season's outset that they might just miss finals on percentage, but to actually win their last 6 games against quality opposition, to actually snare that third position at the last minute. I'm actually still a little bit gobsmacked that they've been able to do it.
Yeah, it's an enormous impact effort, really. I mean, the way that they've played their footy in the last 10 weeks, Vermont, you've just got to acknowledge what they've done. I mean, they've won 12 of their last 15 games.
Not bad.
Right? So, and a lot of those performances have been just so impressive. I mean, that win out at Berwick early in the year, which we covered, for me, that was the statement game, and that was the start pretty much of what they have put in place.
But admittedly, that was round 9.
Yeah, but they were building.
And you're right. I took a lot. What I took out of that game was the fact that they were really. You're right. They were challenged for a lot of that afternoon, and they found a will to. They had that will to win and found a way to win. I don't think in our wildest dreams that little did we know that they were going to win 7 of their last 9 games. Even though
just unearthed players. I mean, guys like Spencer, Dunn, who have just been good.
Grimster and McCluskey have also shown
they've been very good. The dominance of Wilcox down back. And to do it without guys like James Ross as well. They adjusted with playing Lockie Johns down, half back for a little bit of time there.
I think Noah
Burke's
been
awesome.
Yeah, he's gotten an opportunity at the VFL level, deservedly.
So I think just the adaptability of Vermont and just the way that they've put some of these young players in, and they've put the games into them. But these guys have just grown enormously over the 10-week period. I just think it's been really good coaching, but to the players, it's a great credit to them. They give themselves an opportunity, a double chance, and it's one of those things you just never know. Whether they're good enough to win it this year, probably not, but they're giving themselves every chance.
Like Spider, and I know you've been heavily involved in East Burwood, and you've watched a lot of East Burwood teams come through the year, right? And you've always had a second sense of whether this East Burwood team's going to go, a lot further than what everyone think. I mean, I've been around Vermont for 35 years, right? Yeah. And out of all the sides that I've followed at Vermont, this side has caught me unawares.
Yeah,
it's completely caught me unawares because I wasn't expecting it, Josh.
No, I don't think so. I think a lot of people weren't, even 2 or 3 weeks ago as well, particularly when Doncaster East knocked off Blackburn, which was such a vital win for them and for the Lions as well. And I know they make finals, which is a great achievement after a couple of years of disappointment as well. And that's and to chase up or get very close to an East Ringwood side that had been dominant.
Well, I actually didn't think Vermont were going to beat East Ringwood at East Ringwood. And then,
I don't think any of us did.
No, I think that win basically was I think the sniff that gave Vermont the opportunity, thinking, dare to dream, if we win the last game and the results go our way,
then we could have
it. But I remember a few years ago, Vermont was very much in the same position in round 18, and Roval were playing Noble Park, and Vermont was sitting in the double chance position too, and Roval got up by 2 points and tipped Vermont into the elimination final that year, and that was the year we got beaten by South Croydon.
Yeah, that's right.
So for Donny East,
I think it's a missed opportunity not getting that double chance when they were pretty much in the top 3 for the majority of the season.
Well, they were, and they had that top 3 opportunity for a lot of the year, in their grasp, and they've let it go right at the last minute. And they have had a couple of really, their draw, they've had the tough draw, and but in the end they've let it go, and that's the disappointing part about. For this, so now they've got to come through the long way, and they're coming up against a Blackburn side next week, who'll beat them twice this year. And it's 1 each, I think it is.
Yeah, it is 1 each.
But sorry, it's 1 each. But But in saying that, Blackburn will feel like the set this time around, with a full complement, coming back into that lineup, they probably feel that Donny East are gettable.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to park the conversation on Premier because we're joined by our first guest, and it is the senior coach of the Montrose Football Netball Club in Brett Johnson. Thanks for joining us in the build-up to this massive game, Jono.
Thanks for having us, guys.
First season back at the D's, and you've been able to guide them into a finals appearance for the first time in 2 seasons as well. How are the boys feeling ahead of today's contest?
No, they're looking forward to the opportunity. We were talking about it just a moment ago. We think, we've achieved a lot this season. There's been a lot of growth, and now we get the opportunity to test ourselves under finals pressure.
And you come into this game in some pretty decent form. You've knocked off North Ringwood, Beaconsfield and Baronia in the final month of the home and away season, and obviously the Saints went on to win the minor premiership. How much did you take away from that final month? Obviously taking away the Mitcham result, but the remaining games, how much did you take away from them?
No, even at the start of the year, I was really optimistic that our best was good enough to beat the best. I think the last month, and even there was another couple of examples throughout the season where, there was evidence of that. So, particularly the North Ringwood game at home. And that's the thing we're excited about now, is seeing how good we're capable, what we're capable of under finals pressure.
Brett, after beating Baronia, that was the statement game that basically sealed you a top 5 position, where it gave you 3 games clear of Baronia. Is there a chance, or have the players? Is there a danger now that they qualified for the finals that they might just drop their intensity, knowing that they're not playing? And as a coach, you've got to mentally keep them up to on their mark, especially now with finals on our doorstep now.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the last couple of games in particular, we kind of knew what our fate was. And, so it was more about just, trying to improve our game. And we had some challenges with personnel throughout that time as well. So, it was guys got some opportunity, and it gave us an opportunity to have a look at a couple of things too. So, for us, and it's been like that all year, really. We didn't have any expectation or anything like that. Like I said, I felt like our best would be good enough, but it was more just about us improving from week to week.
So, compared to the start of the season, over the first 18 rounds, is there one particular part of the game that you've seen Montrose grow in?
No, I don't think it's one particular thing. I think performance is really complex from week to week, depending on where you're playing, the opposition. We talk a lot about our structure, our contest method, the way we attack and the way we defend, and they're so sort of linked. You can't have one without the other. So for us, it was, it's just continually trying to improve all parts of our game and how they integrate together to, play good footy.
Good luck this afternoon. Brett, always good to have a chat to you. Finals time, special time, particularly out here at Kilsyth. What are your observations on the ground here today? That you're going to, it's a bigger ground, it's a nice ground to play footy and get the ball moving.
Yeah, it is. It's a good ground to play on. So, we're excited by that. We really want to make sure we use our run today and when we do win possession, to make sure we can get it on the outside and use the whole ground to attack. I think that's going to be important against this opposition. They're a really good contest team, and we can't be giving it back to them when we win the footy. So we've got to work really hard on our attack today.
They've got a really strong, impressive forward line. Hewitt obviously has come back in over recent weeks. They've got Dinez in the ruck. Obviously, there's some key areas of their part of their game. There are going to be some areas in focus, no doubt, that you're going to have to really nail down on going into this contest.
Yeah, I mean, they've got good players across each line. So, for us, it's trying to play our system and do it consistently over the course of the game. There's sort of the technical side of the game, that we have to get right. But I think there's another game today which is more between the ears as well, which, finals footy, it's about playing the game and not the occasion, and that's what I look forward to seeing our boys do today, is just keep responding to the pressure by coming back to the game and playing our brand of footy, and I'm excited to see what we can do.
You've had I suppose when you do have games and you do score, scoring has been a little bit up and down for you. You have weeks where you've been able to kick the big scores, and it's been a little bit. Then there's been a bit of inconsistency too, where you probably haven't got enough out of some of your key forward targets as well.
Yeah, I think so. And, yeah, we were scoring really heavily, I think, through certain parts of the year. And then as the year went on, yeah, it sort of dropped away a little bit. And we were
Can you put a
working
finger on that?
Yeah, I think actually last time we played Wanty South at home, we weren't really happy with how we moved the footy that day. So we sort of went to work on a few things, and I think since that game, our uncontested marks have sort of picked up a fair bit compared to what it was early in the year. But at the moment, it's not really converting to high scores for us. So I think that'll be the challenge today. I think against even Beaconsfield last week, I think we only went at, I think it was 42%, conversion going inside 50, which isn't great, given, we had a lot of the footy and won the mark game and all those sorts of things. So, yeah, today it's making the most of our opportunities and making sure we put it into parts of our 50 where they're forced to defend.
Brett, one of the players that I've taken great interest in this year, and I think he seems to be improving year upon year, and I think you've asked a lot of him this year, and I think he's handled whatever assignment you've given him admirably. Todd Galbraith. I've noticed that at various stages you've thrown him in many different roles where you feel that he can offer you the best value. Just in my opinion, I actually think that he's a lot more dangerous as a player when he's playing in your forward 50. Is that a fair assumption?
No, it is. Yeah, look, he's had a super year. And from what I've seen as the year has gone on to, he's really grown. Look, I love the way he plays. He's just unconditional, at the contest. When the ball's in the air on the ground, and then when the opposition's got the ball, he's equally, passionate about trying to win it back. So he really sets a good example for us, and competes really well for us. In the front half. He really converts well too. He's a good set shot on goal. But look, there's times too when we call on him in the ruck, and he does give us a spark in there too, because his follow-up on the ground and his aggression again helps get the ball going our way. So, hopefully he's having more of an impact in the forward half today for us. But he's super important.
So would it be fair to assume that he will take the majority of the ruck responsibilities of the balls in your forward 50?
That'll likely be the case. There'll be a couple of players who do that. Bateman will do a bit. Harry Woodham might do a bit. So, we'll throw a few different looks through there today. But, Ty's going to be really important for us in the front half.
And I hear that your son's playing in a grand final today as well. So that must be a bit of a juggle as well. Where is he playing?
They're out at Scoresby.
Okay.
So it's 14 A's.
Nice.
Yeah, so
fantastic.
Has he got a nice little silky left foot?
No, he doesn't. He's a right footer, so he doesn't follow his old man.
Well, I was going to say, is he? Will he be? Oh, no doubt he'll be watching the live stream or coming out here afterwards as well.
It starts pretty much at the same time. So I'm not sure, but I might be getting a few score updates throughout the game, maybe.
Fingers crossed, and congratulations to him as well for making the grand final. But and finally, and I like asking these coaches the question about the club overall, because you had your 19s play and win a qualifying final yesterday out of Tormore Reserve. Your reserves just fell short of playing finals as well. Your senior women's are into a grand final. Your netball had some success on Friday night as well. It must be in a pretty good spot at Montrose.
Yeah, super wrapped, and I think the club's got 9 junior teams playing in grand finals today as well.
That's
so,
fantastic.
which is really healthy. And our reserves just missed out on finals too.
So how do you keep those reserve guys? How do you keep those reserve guys involved?
Yeah, so. They came to training this week and didn't have to ask, really. A lot of them came down. They just really want to help and see the boys do well. And obviously there's some guys that are still in contention, and depending on what happens today and how far we go, they might be called upon. So,
just never know.
That's right. So that squad mentality is, something we've spoken about throughout the year.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And hopefully for Montrose and Montrose supporters as well tuning into this stream, it is a victory for the D's, and you continue on your finals campaign as well, your first in 2 years as well, and your first back at Montrose, where of course you guided them to a Division 2 premiership all those years ago. So obviously a good stepping stone heading into this weekend and in future years as well. We appreciate the time you've given us, Jono, and congratulations once again on making finals, and good luck for today's contest.
No worries, guys. Thanks for your support. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Brett.
To Brett Johnson as well. Speaks so well on the club, and isn't that exciting as well? It's a pretty busy day in the Johnson household. Having his son play off in the grand final, and But no, they've got some pretty good talent on their list, and it is going to be interesting to see how Ty Galbraith does go. And if he does start in the ruck contest, I actually don't mind that move with the new ruck rules as well. I know they don't play too much of a factor in the AFNL, but going up against Jake Denez is quite handy.
But I mean, look at all the media games that we've done at Montrose this year. He's been in Montrose's best 3 players nearly in every game that we've done this year, and by quite a margin too, Josh.
Yeah, he has been, and he'll look to still impact the scoreboard as well. But we'll wait and see what.
And it is a shame that Big Oscar's not playing, because it would have been great if he was, but obviously they haven't got him.
The insistence of a certain someone that he would be playing, but
but it's probably. But I guess. In hindsight, Spider,
they wouldn't have planned for it anyway. Really.
Yeah, we would have liked it, but I think probably a lot of our questioning might have actually been directed at Brett about Oscar and what he's going to bring, and we all know what he's going to bring, and I think sometimes we've got it like whilst we're happy to talk about certain players. Sometimes we, as the media team, we sort of get a little bit wrapped up because of one player, because of what he's achieved, and that takes away from the other 21 players that have actually been there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And it's going to be like an enormous challenge for Montrose today. I mean, if they can get the game on their terms, and get it looking like a Montrose game, then perhaps they'll be a team that if they can put some pressure on early, make good use of the scoreboard, lock the ball in their forward half, they're certainly going to put the Devils under some significant pressure, I think.
They will. Before we're joined by Jason Heffernan in about 5 or so minutes' time, let's recap some of the other Premier Division results. Of course, the final round of the home and away season. In fact, we'll park that conversation because
the man himself is just going to join us.
He just literally strolled on in. One of our favourites on the media team, and someone who no doubt is looking forward to kick-starting yet another finals campaign. But in the division, in an elimination final this time around, is the senior coach of the Wantirna South Football Netball Club, Jason Heffernan. Welcome, Jace.
Thanks for having me up here.
How are you boys feeling? Another finals campaign, this time at the Division 1 level and kicking off out here at Pinks Reserve.
Yeah, it's interesting when you're sort of sitting in the pocket for most of the year. You start to plan for it a little bit, and then last week just sort of solidified. We're here, so here we go. So I'm very excited.
Absolutely, and you're coming off a fantastic victory as well last weekend against Mitcham on your home deck as well, and the Tigers entered that game pretty much full strength. Does that give you guys and the boys a lot of confidence heading into today's clash? Yeah,
absolutely. The best part about it was the weeks leading up to it, we'd essentially been playing nil-all draws, getting beaten in penalty shootouts, if I use the soccer analogy. And you have a few close losses to some really good teams. As much as you're playing good footy, the win just helps with the mindset. So to get over Mitcham, who had to win to get top spot, they played a great game yesterday, didn't affect them. So I look at it and think, if that doesn't tell our boys, we are in the mix as much as everybody else. So,
Jason, I reckon one of the key matchups this afternoon is going to be in the midfield between Riley Collier Dawkins, and I'm going to put it out there, but I reckon Figamali might get first dibs at him this afternoon. If so, I think that really does bring Lincoln Wong right into calculations as being the player that can really drive that midfield for the rest of the afternoon. What do you think?
Yeah, look, he's a great player, isn't he, the Montrose fella? And those experienced guys, they've been around a long time. They've played high-level footy. They just know how to go about their business. Taggers generally don't worry them too much. And Jono being a really good coach, he'll be planning for something. So for us, it's about we need to be the best midfield today. Like as in the best midfield and not have the best midfielder on the ground, if that makes sense. And if we can be the best midfield today, it'll take us a long way to hopefully winning the game.
One interesting thing, and I think this is probably a bit of a testament to Wanty South as a club that has grown over the last 2 years. You had a premiership player in Jared Ron Dell
Yep.
he's not playing this week.
Yep.
And I don't know what that is, because I'm just thinking I've watched him a little bit this year. His form probably hasn't been as good as what it has been in last year. But that being said, that's a good thing, because that means he needs to strive a little bit harder, because the team is starting to they're driving for higher standards, and if you just drop it a little bit, you're going to find yourself out, because there are others pushing for a position now.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, you hit the nail on the head. JP, he had an overseas trip this year, so he'd missed a fair bit of footy. Came back, played some good reserve level footy, got himself in the team. But as you just pointed out, your form has to be better than good.
Yeah.
And that's been the greatest thing about our club this year, in that good is just not going to be enough to keep you in the team.
No.
And a reserves team that is playing finals in Division 1 are going to have 4 or 5 that are, pushing to get a spot in senior. So we had 2 premiership players play reserve grade footy yesterday. And we made 2 changes from the team that beat Mitcham. We could have gone unchanged, but the pressure is... No, we need you to be playing great footy. And good can't keep you in the team for too long if other blokes are really going well. So, great question.
Always good to talk, Jason, and good luck this afternoon in this big contest. The start of the game today is going to be at the utmost importance. So how do you drill down on that with the players and the key messaging? Because starts have been a little bit of a concern for you guys at times, particularly that last broadcast game we did against Park Orchards, and you spoke deeply about that at that quarter-time break.
I know. Hey, look, we've had a chat about it. It's not something that's just cropped up this year. This is probably in all of my time.
Yep.
And the first person that can work it out, I'd love to speak to them. And they talk about it at AFL level, Z grade amateurs. It doesn't matter. So for our guys today, what we've said to them is really own your preparation. And if you like to get out late, but we go out early, you need to deal with that, not use it as a crutch to hang on that, this is why. No, let's own it as a team. And we aren't starting well, whether we're having a poor warm-up, a great warm-up. Let's just start pressure and to be equal rather than waiting and seeing. And you can see Mitcham, Park Orchards, North Ringwood, they attack the game from the first second. And for our guys, sometimes it's let's see how it unfolds, then we'll get into gear.
Yeah.
So today's important, mate. We've got to start well.
Yeah, having to carry something and that the load shed. And I think he's actually matured a lot more now. And I think he understands his role a lot better than what he did 2-3 seasons ago.
Yeah, so I've got a very deep connection with the whole Kaika family through Wantirna South, and Brent and I, his dad, we actually grew up together. So with Ethan, I know when Ferntree Gully lost the grand final a few years ago, they would have been in the right time to progress. Unfortunately, they met Donvale that year. And then obviously with Brent being the coach, he probably stayed 1 year longer than he had anticipated at Ferntree Gully. And then by the time he comes to us, he's in good shape. He actually had a serious illness which derailed him a little bit, and then he got going. So he's been fantastic for us, but it's what he does away from footy. This guy eats well, he'll see the physio, he'll do swimming. So he's ultra professional for someone that had been playing Divi 3 footy.
Yeah.
Personally, I think Ethan Kaika could go to Baldwin and get 30 touches a week, or he could be playing for Upper Kambukta West. He'll just get 30 touches no matter what grade of football he's playing. So he could go to VFL footy. He doesn't really have the pace, but he's just an accumulator. It doesn't matter what level, and he's been fantastic. But I'm just proud of him because of what he does away from football to have good games on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Ripping guy.
Yeah, he has done a fantastic job, as has his entire Wanty South side, and the club overall as well. Your senior women's are playing in a grand final next Saturday, and you obviously had your reserves play yesterday as well, and they got the double chance. Does that create an extra buzz around the club, particularly with the senior women's playing in a grand final and the Resis and the seniors playing this weekend as well?
Oh, yeah, look, it does, and it just sort of shows, and I know we harp on it, but it's sort of more like proof is in the pudding, you have a year where you get relegated, and if you just focus to the win and loss, you would be thinking it's doom and gloom. But when you look deeper into it and you looked at the age demographic and the elite talent that were coming through. We just needed to get through that. Now the young fellas, the age demographic's really good.
Yeah.
Our junior program's really good and healthy. The women's is just growing. The club at the moment is like the place to be. And you guys know footy so well because there's so many clubs within close proximity. When you're up, everyone's coming to you. You drop down a bit, people go somewhere else. So we're in a good pocket. We need to make hay while the sun shines, and there's pressure on us as coaches and players, but I'm putting pressure on our footy club now, guys. You guys need to get to work and ride this thing home.
Oh, you're doing a fantastic job so far.
Good luck today with it.
And onwards and upwards as well for Wantirna South. But congratulations on making finals and good luck for today's contest.
You're not too nervous, are you? You're not too nervous, Chase?
I feel nervous and a good nervous, but really excited and thank you guys so much for today. And, if we're good enough, we'll get through it. It'll be good.
Well, fingers crossed for Wanty South fans that they are able to get over the line and continue their season. But we're looking forward to seeing how Wantirna South go in this massive Division 1 elimination final. And he's done a fantastic job.
He has, he's been great for Wanty South and all the things that they've done and things that they potentially can do in the future. I mean, they've got a great list, and if they keep this group together, I mean, the sky's the limit for this club.
Absolutely. We're going to go to our first break here. When we return, we'll continue recapping the results from yesterday, whilst having a quick look at some of the games taking place around the grounds in the Eastern Football Netball League Final Series.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair.
Yeah, that's great.
Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home, at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The one thing that puts a smile on my face is my kids.
The sun shining through the clouds, even in winter, absolutely puts the biggest smile on my face.
Seeing delicious food on the table, ready for me when I get home.
One thing that always puts a smile on my face is seeing my family.
The thing that puts a smile on my face every time is really good music.
Just the simple pleasures in life.
Be remembered for the greatest moments in your life. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There are only 3 things that should be flushed down your toilet. Pee, poo and paper. Some wet wipes and antibacterial wipes say that you can flush them, but you can't. They clog up the toilet and pipes, causing expensive blockages. Save yourself a truckload of trouble. Put your wet wipes in the bin. To learn more, head to the Yarra Valley Water website, yvw.com.au/wet-wipes.
Hi, Dylan Dow from the Baroni Football Netball Club here. When I need to grab a quick coffee or a bite to eat, I'm popping into Eastland. Eastland's more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been a major partner of the EFNL since 2018. Cheers, Eastland.
Listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1
with live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Welcome back to Pink's Reserve. Eastland match of the round action out here between Montrose South and Montrose. Currently in the reserves, it is North Ringwood taking on Boronia in the do-or-die final, and it is the Hawks 5-7-37 leading North Ringwood 3-6-24. 6.25 minutes gone in the final term. Josh Watt here alongside Wayne Brasher and Matt Spider Lee as well, and a shout out as well to the Kilsyth Football Club, the Gaza Burger, the ladies out here as well.
Yeah, lovely burger.
Yeah, haven't had mine yet, but I'll be coming down shortly.
Very nice.
I might join you as well, Spider, in getting myself a Gaza. I did have it last time we were out here for a match of the round, which was 2 weeks ago, and they were fantastic.
I
and
devoured mine in moments, not as quick as Brash, who did one from where was it? From Rowville a couple of weeks ago, but
Coles Burger. Best in town, mate.
Yeah, so good that you have to murder it. But
that's it.
Before we spoke with both coaches, we were of course going through the Premier Division results, and we'll quickly go through the final 3 games. Rowville 19-17, 131, knocked off Bowen 10-8, 68 out at Seabeck Oval, and what was the Tigers' final game of the home and away season. Lockie Wine kicked 5 goals, 2 goals each to Matty Davies, Seth McDonald, Nick Schoenmaker's impacting the scoreboard as well. Tyson Struck and Lachlan Stapleton also kicked 2 goals. Cal Verrill was listed best on ground, whilst for the Tigers, Josh Pollux was listed best on ground, kicked the 5 goals as well. Jack Tilley kicked 2 for them, but the Hawks enter next weekend's qualifying final with a bit of momentum behind them. South Belgrave, they had momentum in the last quarter as well against Blackburn out of Belgrave South Recreation Reserve. They trailed for a majority of this contest, including by 40 points at 3-quarter time, but then they kicked 5 goals to just 2 behinds in the final quarter. Ultimately fell short. 11-12, 78. The Saints to Blackburn 13.
Well, you think Blackburn just took the foot off the pedal?
Probably put the cue in the rack.
They put the cue in the rack, save themselves for next week.
Just rested a few players as well.
And just in relation to the Rowville Baldwin game, look, I mean, Rowville just their game is in really good order. You know, Lockie Won kicking 5 goals, Verrill playing outstanding, and Shaw Marcus, who's doing some wonderful things in the ruck, and he's definitely in competition Chandler medal calculations. Edwards has been in great form too. So, but I think Rowville, they're definitely going to be the challenger.
They're the team to beat
to East Ringwood.
As far as I'm concerned, they're the team to beat.
Well, I couldn't agree more with you as well, Brash. Even though East Ringwood have finished as a minor premiers, Rowville have started to just find some form and get some players back.
Yeah, well, it's going to be, can they get that something close to that best team back in there?
I've got a question, Josh, that I'd like to ask both of you. Based on what we've seen so far in the finals, and based on what the coaches have given us in the 2 weeks of finals, are we at the stage where the grounds that we have in the Eastern Football Netball League are no longer suited to some of the game styles that the coaches are trying to play now?
I think so.
What do you think, Spider?
It's a great question. Look, nice seeing the thing. Yeah, look, I think some of the grounds. I mean, today's ground here, I mean, we know how good it is. I mean, I think that I just think the coaches will get it done anyway.
The only reason why I say that is because Vermont's grounds are saucer bowl compared to quite a few other grounds.
I was going to say, because some of these Premier grounds are so small.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's what I'm thinking. Like, we have a lot of small grounds in Premier. A lot of the bigger grounds are held by some of the lesser division teams, aren't they? I mean,
Edwin Flack, right, before Berwick were in the competition, right, that ground became the biggest ground in Premier Division when Berwick, came into the competition, and I noticed that some of the sides actually play better on bigger grounds than what they do their own grounds because of the game plan. And I'm wondering whether that's because the coaches realise that they can't afford to have a small ground game plan, because especially in the finals, the dimensions of the grounds do go up. And
they do go up a big,
And if you don't have, and if you've played a certain style on a small ground, it's not going to get you far in the finals.
Yeah, well, I think Rowville, playing out at Ringwood, I think they'll enjoy getting out onto the bigger spaces. Yeah. I mean, East Ringwood.
I don't know how they go on Jubilee.
I think East Ringwood. No, I don't think they'll have too much problem adjusting to Ringwood either. I think they'll enjoy that because they're such a good offense team.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see.
It will be. Just touching briefly again on South Belgrave Berwick, Blackburn. Tim Smith kicked 5 goals and Toby Wooler kicked 7. So that would have been an interesting shootout to see.
A bit of a shootout.
Yeah.
I'm really happy for South Belgrave that they are staying up. I mean, because look, it's always a hoodoo coming up, and then right.
But now they need to get to work, Brush.
Yeah,
they really need to crank it up now.
Yeah.
And they need to go and hit the ground running, and they need to go and get a couple of players.
They do need to. I completely agree.
And there's players within Premier competition that you've got to be targeting. Now, if you're South Belgrave,
VFL players as well.
You're targeting VFL players, but you're going hard at a couple of these Noble Park players.
You have to.
Who want to play Premier next year. I mean, Noble Park in their own right, now that they're going down, they're going to want to have player retention, but they've obviously got their mind set on potentially getting some players from outside of the competition as well. But you've got to remember, their salary cap's going to be a lot smaller than what it is for Premier.
Just touching on Noble Park's result briefly, they went down to South Croydon 17-10-112 to the Bulls 8-12-60 out of Cheong Park.
And the thing is with and we all know this because we've been following football for so many years. When you win a flag, you've got to maintain and add. But the thing is, it works the opposite way because you've got to be prepared if you go down a division. You've got to be prepared for the fact that some of those players, like Spider has alluded to, they want to play still at Premier Division. They don't want to play in Div 1. So that's the double whammy.
It is,
of going down.
Yeah, well, I have heard a couple of rumours, a couple of murmurings around the traps about players coming across to Noble Park, which we won't divulge now. They're only rumours, and we obviously don't want to put them out onto a public forum before potentially they're announced, or potentially if they're not announced as well. But the final Premier Division ladder to end season 2026, East Ringwood finished with 16 wins and 2 losses atop the Premier Division table. They have the first week off. Roeville and Vermont will play off in the qualifying final out at Jubilee Park. The Hawks finishing in second and Vermont finishing in third. They had the same amount of wins as Doncaster East, but had the superior percentage, which means Doncaster East finished in fourth and placed Blackburn in an elimination final out at Edwin Flack Reserve next weekend, who finished in fifth, a game behind Doncaster East in the end, but with a superior percentage in comparison to the Eagles and the Lions. Baldwin in sixth with 8 wins, 9 losses in the draw, and I had a look. This is the first time they've had a losing record in the EFNL since crossing over, so which is very, very surprising. They haven't had a losing record in about 30 years, so obviously they've continued to have such great success until this.
They didn't play finals in their first year.
Oh, I think they did.
Or maybe they just snuck in. I think in 2007,
and I think
they snuck in under Mickey McGuan. Yeah.
And I think since their inception up until this year, they'd only lost one game by more than 60 points. Well, that's actually happened more than once this season.
And it happened obviously yesterday. Berwick finished in 7th, 3 wins better than they did last year with the 8 wins, and obviously 6 wins better than their 2024 season. South Croydon with 5 wins, 12 losses and a draw finish in 8th. South Belgrave in 9th with 2 wins, and Noble Park finished at the bottom with 1 win and a percentage of 58.75. So that's the final Premier Division ladder. We'll touch on the Premier Division finals next weekend on the weekend forecast and throughout the week as well. But we are going to start talking about the finals that took place yesterday, and we're not going to touch on the Division 2 qualifying final too much, because obviously that was a broadcast game and that was an absolutely thumping result for Templestowe, who sent a message to Surrey Park ahead of their second semi-final with a 16-16-112 to 7-4-46 victory over Mulgrave. Mick Fogarty was interestingly listed best on ground by the Dockers. We gave it to Cole Giovannini, who was exceptional of a half-back.
And that's not surprising about Fogarty, because him coming back into the lineup,
he does help.
He does help, and he just that big body, big presence, and they did an outstanding job yesterday, Templestowe, with all those players coming back in. And I just had a bit of a feeling going into this game they were going to be able to get that job done without Tilliard playing. And big job for Mulgrave now to remain in it. You know, they get another chance, but it's going to be a lot of hard work for them.
And that's why I asked that question, Josh, because basically I was inferring that Mulgrave's game plan yesterday fell apart and didn't stand up to final scrutiny.
It didn't.
And it was quite glaring as well.
It was, and they play the winner of Waverley Blues Lilydale in the elimination final that's taking place out at Walker Park today. Do we back I think most of us have backed the Waverley Blues in because their form has been really good. What do we make of this contest?
Yeah, Waverley for me will win. I think this is going to be a lot tighter than people think. Lilydale have been very competitive, and it's a fantastic opportunity for them. They've had a great season, whether they win or lose today, but These two teams during the year, they've certainly played some great games against each other. Wilkerdale will like their chances. I think they'll think that Waverley are gettable, but it's just going to be whether they can match them through the midfield and then put the score on the board. But for me, I just think guys like Vickers are probably going to be the difference. But I just feel like their defence, Waverley, has been going really well in recent weeks, and I think that might be able to shut down that Louisdale forward line.
Yeah, I agree with Spider. I think a lot of responsibility is going to come on to Chili Check in that forward 50. And the thing is, he's such a young man, still learning his craft. And I just think that with Clausen in the middle and his ability to win 30, 35 possessions keeps Lilydale in this game for a long way. But I just think Waverley Blues just back that little bit deeper.
Yeah.
And I think Playstead, this is the sort of game that he'll dominate.
Well, he needs to dominate.
He does need to dominate, I agree. But I expect Waverley Blues to get over the line. As mentioned in the opener, the winner of this game for Wantirna South and Montrose will play Park Orchards after they went down to Mitcham, who have now won 7 finals in a row. Obviously, they last played finals in 2024, but it's still a pretty decent effort to win 7 finals in a row in the same competition as well and at the same venue as well. They knocked off Park Orchards 11-9-75. The Sharks 9-9-63, led by 30 points late in the second term before Park Orchards hit back. They were down by 14 points at 3/4 time before the Tigers were able to hold sway and get a 12-point victory. Rod Ali was listed best on ground. Jake Parenti with 4 goals, 2 goals each to Mitch Johnson, who came back into the lineup, and Guy
Good
Lockwood.
return.
It's a very handy return as well. Whilst for the Sharks, Lewis Downing and Sammy Press kicked 2, and Kane Kebbell was listed best on.
The only thing I can really sum this game up in a couple of sentences. I think Park Orchards once again fluffed their lines and gave Mitcham too much of a start, right, and then had to try and find a way back into the contest, and they just weren't able to do it, in the time allocated, Spider.
Yeah, look, Mitcham, I spoke about it on Friday, and I had some confidence that Mitcham could win this game. That's not to say that Park Orchards are out of this race at this stage. There's definitely opportunity for them
another chance
to get back there and get to the grand final this year. But look, I think in terms of what Mitcham are doing, considering what happened during the week, to their forward line set up with Olden as well, going out.
Josh May going out as
Josh
well.
May going out.
Could be back next week.
They've got really good depth, Mitcham, and it showed again yesterday. So for them, they'd be delighted to get through, to have a go at the second semi against North Ringwood, and we'll have to wait and see how that one pans out. But gee, they like their chances.
There's still a
North.
chance, Mitcham, next week.
There's definitely a chance out of Tormore Reserve as well. It'll be interesting to see how they go if they win that final.
But they play that ground so well, Mitcham.
They do.
They seem to enjoy playing there. And it's a ground that they've had some really good success at.
They have Division 3 finals. We'll touch on the game that took place yesterday. Donvale, a 5th consecutive grand final. They won their 4th consecutive second semi-final against the Basin out at Wally 2 Reserve. 7-11-53 to the Bears 6-5-41. Led by 23 points at quarter time, and were able to hold the Bears at bay despite some charges in the second and final quarter as well. For Donvale, 2 goals each to Josh Shortervik, James Fisher and Nick Murphy. Matthew Day was listed there, best player on the ground, whilst Mitch Brown was listed best on for the Basin and kicked 3 goals for them as well.
Got control of the game, Donvale, early, and really set the game up, and really probably could have won by a couple more goals, to be truthful, in the way that they dominated the game. But look, the Basin, to their credit, they did hang in there for a lot of the game, but Donvale now get that opportunity to have a week off and have another crack at a premiership. But
they do.
The Basin, look, they've got a big opportunity, a second chance, and they will hope they get another chance to play them in a few weeks' time. But Donvale got to give them full marks yesterday. They played really good, hard-nosed footy.
Second semi-final, always one of the hardest games to win, to go into a grand final. Donvale did what they had to do. They got the job done.
Good to see Matty Day playing some good footy as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And the winner of Upper Ferntree Gully and Knox play the Basin in next weekend's preliminary final out of Wally 2 Reserve. And look, I've backed in Knox, and I know Upper Ferntree Gully still have some pretty decent players, and they've still got Jordan Nuku was originally listed out, but he's playing today and will be quite crucial going up against potentially Harry Greaves. But losing Travis Strange is huge, Brass.
It is.
I can't go past that, and that's why I'm backing in the Falcons today.
When you got when you got one of your top three players missing, especially a midfielder, it makes it nearly impossible to replace. I'm still sticking with Upper Ferntree Gully. I know they've probably become the forgotten side, and I'm not going to be seduced by Knox's performance last week. I think Upper Gully can match them basically all around the ground, but I just think that they'll concede that they don't have a match up for Harry Grieve. So that's the only one that they're going to have to worry about.
I think Upper Gully win this game. I really believe that guys like Ethan Harris, the midfield for them is still strong. We know Stranger's out, but I still think when you earn the right for that double chance, for the second chance, I think that they'll use it, and I think they'll use it well. I just can't see Knox being able to play as well as they did last week again to be able to replicate that performance against and a guy like Nuku backing, who is going to play. He was really important in that contest last week, and they could have gone down by a lot more if he wasn't out there. So I just crucial. I think he'll be critical in this game for them, and I do think Upper Gully will get the win. I just think they're a better team, and then that's as simple as that. But time will certainly tell.
And then Division 4, obviously, check out the EFNL app or play AFL as well. For the result yesterday, were Warrandyte won by 13 points. Gabrielle stumped 4 goals as well.
Yeah, good effort.
Churnside Park play the winner of Bulleen Templestowe in Fair Park today as well. Just
Bullants for me.
Bullants for me as well. And on this game, before we go to a break here, Spider, we're not going to be on the call. Do you back in the Devils? Or do you back
Devils for me. Just a couple of goals. I think this will be this game will ebb and flow, but I just have a bit of a feeling that the way that Wantirna South side is set up just looks a bit more balanced for me than what Montrose has, and I'm just not sure where the goals are coming from Montrose today. We'll
save your tip for a little bit later, Brash, but we are going to go to a break here, and when we return, the call team will assemble, led by Chris Cordes and Big Blakey Tennant for this Division 1 Elimination Final. Wanty South against Montrose.
In Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her 2 young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. And let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The superpower I'd love for a day is to fly.
If I could have a superpower for a day, it would be to time travel so I could go back and see how life was when my parents were young and stuff like that.
Be mind reading. It's always good to know what other people are thinking.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, their superpower is always providing compassionate care to families at their absolute time of need. Get to know the team at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Hi, I'm Ben Desson from Montrose Football Netball Club, and when I need a new kit for a night out, I head over to Eastland. But Eastland is more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been major partners of the Eastern Football Netball League since 2018. Thanks, Eastland.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Yes, here it is. Elimination final, do or die sort of scenario here. Win or go home. That's sort of the scenario that we're doing here for today's Division 1 Elimination Final. It's the Wantirna South Devils going up against the Montrose Demons. The Devils won the premiership last year, and now they're back in August, September footy as well. And for Montrose, the first time since 2023 that the Demons will be playing finals. So big game here on the Eastland Match of the Round. Hope you're enjoying it on Facebook and YouTube. And as well, if you're driving around on Radio Eastern 98.1, flick that dial all afternoon if you don't mind. Put that on. My name is Blake Tennant, and I'm joined here by a full crew. Very good crew here we got today. And calling alongside me is the great, I can call him great because he is great, Chris Cordes. Welcome back, mate. It's been a pleasure having you join us on Radio Eastern and on EFNL YouTube.
Yes, thank you, Blakey. It's very excited to be back here. Obviously, I think we said before, second time we're calling together. Yes. But very excited. It'll be an absolute barnstormer of a game in front of us today. I've called Wanty South a fair few times, but I think this is my first time seeing Montrose live in action. So very excited to get an eye for that too.
Oh, you called that great grand final. The best grand finals I've seen in a long time.
Probably best game of sport I've seen with my own two eyes.
Yeah, and as well, we got Wayne Brasher, who knows a thing or two, or even three about local footy. He's been around for long years. He doesn't miss on a Sunday when we do finals footy, and that man is Mr. Wayne Brasher. Welcome aboard again, mate.
Thank you, Blake, and always, actually, it's a real pleasure for me this afternoon to be calling with the up-and-coming team, an up-and-coming team of youthful exuberance, and it's making me feel younger, and it's going to draw a lot of hopefully good special comments out of me this afternoon.
I'm sure you will, and you were very happy yesterday as well with a big result too, so we won't talk about that because we heard it on pre-game.
All I'm going to say, Blake, is I'm still a bit flabbergasted about it.
Yeah, now that's a word that's very unique to say as well. And joining us as well, the special comments chair, and she's no stranger to EFNL Media, even though she's joined us this year. She's definitely a star in the making, and she'll be on for years and years to come as well. And that woman is Em Mackay, the Sandringham Dragons coach, Sandringham too, and we also spent a bit of time down at the Eastern Ranges too. So good to see Em back on the special comments chair today.
Thanks for having me, Blake. Really looking forward to coming back to Division 1. It's a competition I do know quite well. We've seen Montrose a couple of times this year. You guys saw Wantirna. I didn't get the opportunity to do that, so it'll be really great to see what kind of contest comes out today.
And I forgot North Ringwood too. You were there last year as well, so full on get that one as well. We might cross down to our two boundary reporters today in Ben Warren Smith today. Usually you see him up here, but he's down on the boundary today, and he's got himself with Jared Beanland. G'day, gentlemen. How are the conditions down there? And I'm sure you'll get the toss in a few moments' time.
Absolutely. Thank you, Blake. Thanks for that intro. We've got the wind going a little bit to it will be the left of screen, just slightly not quite aligned with the goals.
Probably the Canterbury Road end, Jared?
Yes,
correct.
I'd imagine so. Yes, and it's probably like a 2 or 3 goal breeze at most. I don't think it's necessarily going to cause too much impact on the game. The grass underfoot is, it's a bit hard perhaps where I'm standing, but we'll see how the teams end up dealing with that.
Ben Warren Smith, you're going to get the coin toss here.
Yeah, we've seen the coin toss, and Nathan Dinez has just won the toss, and he's elected to kick with the breeze. So as Jared said, it's probably a couple of goals, but it is pushing across the ground. So it's more just inside the forward 50 arc is where it's pushing right across the ground to, which funnily enough, when the sun was out only within the last hour or so, it was pushing across the other side. So a bit of wind changing happening down here at ground level. The cloud covers come, the crowd's in. Boys are pumped, and so are we.
Yes, I was just talking about the crowd, and I think we got the perfect final. Both fan bases between Montrose and Wantirna South. This is actually their first final that they've actually played against each other since 2022. The Demons did get home and in that final by 11 points as well. And I think Spider mentioned it in the podcast as well. They've met in some grand finals. I think the one that my old man was coaching back in 2005. I was only a 3-year-old back then, but that was a very good final too. I think Wantirna South prevailed in that final too. So. And I think we're going to put the news as well. No big go today, Chris. It's going to be a unique ruck sort of battle. Obviously, Jake Dinez is, if I would say he's probably the ruckman in Division 1 for Team of the Year. How do you see that one playing out, Chris?
Yeah, it's a big miss, and it's a shame because you want to see your best players in the best teams of your division, really going at it. So it's a shame that we won't get to see him against Dinez today, but it's really a case of now how do Montrose adjust. We heard Brett Johnson say, what he might be looking to do in the ruck contest and in terms of a midfield group in the pre-game, but I mean, they've got to have an answer for Jake Dinez today. Last time they played 179 ranking points for the big man, so if he gets over the top of him like that, it might be a very long day for the boys in blue and red.
And Brash as well. Just looking at Wantirna South, they've got I think they've got 3 midfielders in the top clearances in Premier Dart. Thanks to our good friends down there. So that's Bigger Marley, Ethan Kiker, and Lincoln Wong. So the midfield battle is going to be very crucial today, Wayne Brasher.
Yeah, it will be, and I think the matchup I'm looking for is Figa Marley versus Riley Collier Dawkins, Blake. I think that contest is going to be really important because then that means that Lincoln Wong can ply his wares, but he's not going to get it all his own way. And actually, even though the Big O's not necessarily playing, it may not be as disadvantaged as what we think.
Yeah, so looks like Ty Galbraith will be in the ruck for the Demons for today's contest. So players are in position now. The crowd is definitely big at the moment. 2 big followings watching this great contest. It's the finals footy. Division 1 finals is back. Of course, the winner will take on Park Orchards when Mitcham had a big win. So the umpire throws the ball up, and to bring us in for the first time on Radio Eastland and Facebook and YouTube is Chris Cortis.
Dinez wins the first hit out. It's gone on the ground level. First hands to it. Montrose were wrapped up in a tackle immediately. So we'll stay where we started. Rucks will go at it again. Galbraith, Dinez had a big jump. Galbraith stayed at ground level. His kick was smothered, fell in the hands of Collier Dawkins. Here's Cooper, shrugged the tackle, handball on ground. Dinez flicked 1-2. There was Kiker moving along by hand. Here they go, the Devils out wide. There's Hunt, cuts back inside to his right, left the defender into his wake. A bit of a wobbling kick. An early intercept mark taken there by Fraser Smith. Smith will just look to return to centre on this near side boundary, couple under it. Very strong mark taken there by Harry Whittle. Just held his ground, he's an imposing figure. And he will just chip one to Collier Dawkins, who lost his footing, and as a result, ball is out of bounds, and we will have a boundary throw-in, I believe, Blake.
Yes, it is. Just, should have maybe a little bit too high there by Harry Whittle. Dinez and Galbraith in the ruck here. We'll be seeing that. Dinez gets the clean hit out. You'll be seeing him a lot. Tackled immediately by Galbraith. And we'll be another ball up. So players just getting used to it. No cards been thrown yet so far. We saw that Wantirna South got the early look there. So Galbraith gets that hit, looking for Kiker. Kiker just socketed it off the ground. It'll be another boundary throw-in.
Wantirna starting to use a lot of their forwards up in that contest to try and add some more numbers into it as well. So we've got a clear forward line for them if the ball gets out.
Thank you, Em. Boundary throw-in is done, and that one. Both ruckman trying to get there. Collier Dawkins goes to Hams, to Tennant. Watson, snap around the corner. But all on there for is Leggett. Leggett just gets that beautiful kick that he's been doing for years. Going for more here. Just taps it forward for the Devils. Around this one is tackled immediately. Disney tackles Milton.
This is where we're looking at the space can be really important for them to lead into and create those opportunities top of forward 50.
Kiker gets a kick, goes inside 50 for the Devils. Gets that one, is Galbraith, gives it back to Belden. Belden back into the team, and that's not a good kick by Smith there. And it's an intercept mark taken there by Figamali. Figamali plays on immediately. Not a great kick. And there's that matchup we've been talking about. Collier Dawkins against Cooper. Danez tackled immediately by Galbraith. And that's going to be a ball up just on the arc of the 50.
Fantastic tackle there. We know Danez is likely to dominate the aerial battle, but Galbraith more than happy to take it to him on ground level. And Danez gets a hit out there. It was knocked out of Galbraith's hands as it fell into it. Watson's around the foot. He can't quite get there. Jamie Hunt in pursuit. He's got a lot of work to do. Maybe caught one in the back. Umpire said nothing doing. Through hands. Now just kicked forward. 1v1 contest. Nathan Danez representing for the boys in green. And for Montrose there, it's Bateman. So will they come out? And they'll do so through Deng Andrew. Bit of a wobbling kick. It lands in the hands of Leggett. Leaves one defender in his wake and will look to switch play out to the far side. Finds a mark. There's Heath Disney. Disney goes down the line, looking for options. There's a lead up of Warner ahead of the footy. Will bounce in front of him. Instead, footy finds its way to Fraser Smith for Montrose. Chips a kick well weighted. Has to go back with a flight. G umpire said play on. It was almost smothered by the knee of the Devils defender there. As I look down the line, kick goes forward off fists. Wong's around there. Has to turn tackler eventually. Footy hit the deck. A bit of a scrappy ball to be won here. And it will bounce at a right angle. Will it stay in? No, just over the boundary line, just at the forward 50 arc for the Devils as we'll go boundary side.
Thank you, Chris. A few matchups down to Wantirna South. Brendan Gardol, he's got the job on Hewitt. Fraser Smith is tailing Moore, and Daniel Frith is going head-to-head with Jesse Warner.
Danez wins the hit out. Thank you for that, Jared. As ball to be won at ground level here. Plenty of bodies diving around, and in there was Watson. So too Figamali, who had to turn tackler. Now the Devils looking to extract it. Went to ground. Whistle's been blown.
High tackle, maybe?
The ground's a bit, in certain areas, it's in a shifting type mode. Players are finding it hard to hold their feet, especially when they're running full pace trying to meet the ball.
So you're right, Blake. It is a high tackle free kick going the way of Cole Cooper. Hasn't played a ton this season, but he's on the VFL list for Sandringham.
Won a grand final with Banks up in Northern Territory as well, in Premier up there. Bit of experience coming in this game.
Exactly right, Em. So he'll be built for the big moments. His kick will come from about 48 out, maybe a 45-degree angle. This is Cooper to get the first mark on the scoreboard. May fall short, marked on the line. No, but Tennant sees it over for just the rush behind. We have our first score in this elimination final, and it goes Wantirna South's way, just the one behind.
So Bo Tennant can play on here. Gets it to Smith. Been a great pickup from the basin this year. Goes to Griffin Allen. Another emerging player for the Demons coming into the team for the last couple of weeks. Done well. Goes to Bateman, big flight, good mark taken. So Bailey Bateman, of course, coming from Lilydale. Won an under-13 premiership with Bailey Bateman 10 years ago, so good to see him playing good footy. So another player, Riley Britton. He's come from Croydon. Collier Dawkins around this one. Goes to Hayden Smith. Hayden Smith goes deep inside the forward 50. Galbraith! Good mark taken. And he can line up and kick the Demons' burst of the day.
I tell you what, he's had a good opening 6 minutes, Galbraith. I mean, look, he is definitely undersized against Danez, but he's competing. And the thing is, this is where he probably could expose Danez dropping into that forward 50 because he's got the ability to take a good mark like that, Blake, and kick a goal.
Yes, indeed. I think you said it last time we were at Montrose. He's a bit of a cult figure down at Montrose, and I think he is. He's starting to become that. He's starting to become the big forward, and you know, he's kicked about 37 odd goals this year. Has Ty Galbraith. Can he kick the Demons' burst of the day? He does so. Come on, Pye, doesn't move. And the Demons get the first one of the day here. 1 straight 6, Montrose to the Devils, 1 behind.
Yeah, well, that's good reward for effort there for Montrose. I mean, both sides I think they've opened up pretty well. There doesn't seem to be any nerves, so that's a good thing. It's probably going to take another 10 minutes before, you know, the side settle into a groove.
And we'll go to our boys on the boundary for comment.
Yeah, just on Montrose, they've already ringing in the changes. Starting benches on the ground. They've already had 7 interchange changes down here, guys.
Thank you very much, BWS. Is looking to extract it out of hands now. The Demons, they just hoover kick forward through Eels. Might fall short. Couple standing under it and doing well. Mark taken there. And they'll look to go one further inside. Looking to the pocket. They've got a lead-up option. Will it carry? Yes, it will. And there's a man in Riley Collier-Dawkins. He's had a fair bit of the footy early, and he'll have another chance for a disposal and to kick his 15th goal of this season.
And Collier-Dawkins is a player that you cannot afford to let even a 2 metre gap, because he's such a reliable mark, and he's oozes class.
60-degree angle, maybe a 25 to 30 metre kick is on its way. Will it stay right? Yes, it will. He loves it. The big man's on the board, and Montrose have the first 2 of this elimination final.
And 2 goals really early is it's a great result for Montrose, because as I was mentioning before, Wantirna are sort of flooding their players into the middle, so Montrose have been really able to transition that ball out from contest to get the ball into the forward 50. I always thought this game was going to be a battle of the forwards, and Montrose are proving really well in this regard at the moment.
And we know he's got speed. Just left the Nez there for dead on the lead up, so very encouraging stuff for the Demons, Blake.
Yes, indeed. Well, this is the storyline for this game. The forward set up. Advantage Montrose at the moment, though. Muir in the ruck now. Gets the hit out. Goes to Lincoln Wong. What a champion player he's been for this club. He's got dual league BNF winners. Tennant just tries to open up the candy shop. Goes to Bateman. Muir around this one, but Tennant gets it back with a hand pass. Out the back here is Eels. Eels goes to the wing, where we are at the moment. Beautiful setup here at Pinks Reserve. White skipping around this one. Tackled immediately. That was by Kyle Taylor, and he wraps up immediately there, and there'll be a holding the ball free kick for the Devils. Looking for Leggett. And Sith goes to Andrew. Frankston VFL is Dang Andrew. Goes to Disney for the switch kick. He plays on immediately. Goes to Kaika. Kaika goes back to Leggett. O'Keefe around this ball here. It feels like the pressure is just getting to the Devils at the moment. Whittle can try scoop this one up over Leggett. First to get it up is Disney, having a great game so far in the early stages of the first quarter, but he's intercepted by Tennant, Chris.
So Tennant, good intercept mark there. Just chips a kick to Fraser Smith. Had a decent bit of the footy early. Just the general down back. Finds a teammate in Jordan Eels. Something that head coach Jason Heffernan flagged early in the pre-game. They needed to start well, did the Devils, and they found themselves on the back foot just a bit. As we have just ticked over to the 10-minute mark in this opening term. Bit of uncontested footy being strung together. Here's Riley Hams. 9 times in best for the season. We'll be looking to have another similar performance in this one, as that's a squaring ball, and he's bitten it off just enough. Got it to a teammate in Frith. 50-metre penalty, or 25 I should say. And they want to take advantage on the far side. I don't think they'll be allowed to. No, they won't. They'll just be redirected. Blake's not too happy. I don't think the Montrose players on the far side know they have to come back, but that is the rules, Blakey.
It is. I thought that you could take the advantage.
So anyway, here's Frith. Not sure if he gets 2 kicks for this start, but anyway, there's one of them. And it will go. There's a pack forming inside 50. Niop will fly. Excellently taken intercept mark there by Ryan Muir. And he can just settle it down a bit, but instead gives a handball receive off to Leggett. Hit as he kicked. 2v1 if Disney can get there, or Caney, I should say. And he played on. Good mark by Tennant. Got it to a teammate. They'll go backwards to go forwards now. Kick will go inside 50. It's a driller, but it will just go to Hunt. Punched out of his hands. Mark paid. So Jamie Hunt. And that's going to be 25 as well. So Montrose will return the favour. I'm not sure if it's just all dirt out there. They can't quite see where they're supposed to stand, but 2 25-metre penalties given away, 1 each early on in this contest. They'll look to the far side wing. Mark taken by Cooper. Has the opportunity to take a bounce. Instead gives a handball forward. Good passage of play here for the Devils. High kick, and that will be the end of the good passage. As you can hear the laughs, almost like a hyena as it sails out of bounds on the full.
It's really nice to see them opening up the game a bit more. We're after at that 10-minute mark, and it's always congested in that first 10 minutes. And I think both teams are wanting to play more of that switch kick transition style footy.
Yeah, good shout, Emma's. Ball is on the far side wing. I believe that's Niop that just sends it inside 50. Caney was there. Came off hands, off fists. Moore got wrapped up in a tackle, holding the ball. So the Demons will look to slingshot now. They'll look to switch it. And they'll do so with a brilliant kick that finds Jordan Eels. They've been using this near side wing well so far, Montrose. They're more than happy to just retain possession in an uncontested manner here in their defensive 50.
Brendan Gardole, the 2013 Premiership player, the last one standing at the moment. Garthwaite. Sure, Brash and BWS know Brendan Gardole very well. And here come the Devils. They're going to pounce in this moment here by the turnover. Jack O'Keefe lines up and kicks the Devils' purse. Just off the turnover there. 1-1-7 the Devils to Montrose, 2 straight 12.
Yeah, it just shows you as soon as you turn that ball over on a ground like Kilsyth and you've got a few blokes running forward with the football and it comes to them and nearly very hard to stop.
Well, it's going to be Wantirna's game. They're pushing them up in the mid and they're trying to just run it out and use that, sorry, lost my words, they're trying to use the speed and they'll get a lot of their goals over the top like that.
So the Devils get their first one of the day. Muir gets the hit out over Bateman. Allen around this one, gives it off to Watson. Back to Eels, to Tennant. Tennant gets smothered by off the boot here. That was by Jared Smith and he's tackled by Eels.
Tennant playing a really good role. It, sort of has stood out in the last couple of games that we've had for Montrose as well. So just backing up that sort of playing history.
Collie Dawkins will get this one over Kyle Cooper. Gets the kick, looking for Galbraith. He marks a good one here.
See, that was a good kick too.
Riley Britton. Playing a bit more forward. Started off as a wingman, coming across from Croydon. He's going to back himself here is Britton. Just on the pocket here on the arc of the 50. So Britton can line up and kick the Demons' third of the day. Can line up. It's drifting to the left. Who's going to get this one up here? Andrew around this ball here. Devils get it out of there. Defensive 50 around this one up here is Allen. So Allen plays on immediately, looking for the pocket end. Hams around this ball here. He's got Noyop around him. Tackled immediately, and that will be a holding the ball free kick going to the Devils, Chris.
So a good stand from the Wantirna South defence there. They'll look to use the far side wing. Nyop's kick just takes territory. Will get out the back of the pack. They're playing shortstop out there as a Demons defender, and they'll look to chain up through hands. Now Griffin Allen had it and was set upon immediately, just in front of that Wantirna South dugout. They're loving the effort there. 15 gone. They only trail by 5. We'll love the boundary throw in. So it'll be Muir and it'll be Bateman in the ruck. Both relief rucks playing their craft now. Muir wins a hit out convincingly. Got it to Dylan Moore. Moore looks forward of the footy. They just bounce up. Tap nearly got away from Frith, but he gets hands to it now. Gets a kick away too. Couple standing under it. Well taken mark there. That's Griffin Allen, and he'll just chip one back into the middle. And Montrose again just finding space, finding open bodies as here's Collier Dawkins looking for the lead up over teammate. Nathan Dinez did well. Eels got the ground ball. Now there's a chance. Shot on goal coming. Tanser Matt. And he has just pulled it wide from behind.
They look really dangerous at the moment, Montrose. Nearly every forward 50 is a potential shot on goal. The back Frith and Tennant and Eels are really dominating that half-back line at the moment.
We'll go boundary side.
Yeah, guys, while Jake Dinez is resting out of the ruck, he's gone deepest forward, but his work rate is still on display. He keeps pushing far up the ground as his brother, Nathan Dinez, takes that mark.
So Dinez does an intercept mark, goes to Figamali. Been a great pick-up as well. The Devils are out here. Getting around this one here is Jesse Warner. Kicked 3 goals last time in a quarter. Make that one today. Last time they met. And he gets his first of the day, 2-1-13. Montrose 2-1-13 as well. We've got a draw early stages in this first quarter.
Can I just pop in here before we get comments from our people in the specials chair? I just want to say that kick from Figamali is worth absolute gold. That opened the whole side of the ground up. It was
right.
Absolutely pivotal.
Exactly. I agree with that.
So 2-1-13 apiece for both sides. If you just joined us, Montrose kicked the first 2 goals of the game, and the Devils have gone bang bang. Early stages, 17 and a bit minutes in on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Really good start. Here, Muir gets a hit out, goes to Figamali. Cooper snaps around the corner. Just on the top of the arc here. Jake Janez can run on top of this one and kick the Devils goal here, but it's spoiled immediately. That was by Garthwaite for that one. So the Devils are in front now, 2-2-14.
That's
St.
where
Montrose 2-1-13, 17-40 into this first quarter.
That's where we're really starting to look at that kicking the ball over the top with that run and carry from Wantirna. So it's something that Montrose are going to have to be wary of, especially coming from the back line.
Yeah, very true as Bowden takes a mark in the back pocket as he'll just look to send one down the wing here. Jake Denez standing under it and going over the top there was McMillan. Couldn't quite take it clearly. Ball evaded. Collier Dawkins now as Figamali turns tackler. Almost did a death row with Corey Agnew in his grasp there. Umpire will call for the ball up and the Rucks will get ready to go at it again. Galbraith, big leap. They cancelled each other out. There was an arm chop there. Free kick will go the way of Jake Denez. Had the option to give a handball receive to Cooper, but instead decided to go himself and just kicks a top spinner straight down the throat of the Montrose defence. And they'll look to slingshot now. Collier Dawkins at the top of defensive 50. Has a few options. They've done excellently so far, the Demons, in this opening term to just find space where it doesn't seem like there is much. Hayden Smith took the mark, then got a kick away to a teammate. They'll go down the line. That was Smith who gets it one further. And they'll just slow it down on this far side wing here. And that kick will stay in. It will be marked by Riley Britton there. He's showed a good bit of work rate so far in this opening term as they'll look inside 50 now. Good lead up. Nathan Denez did brilliantly stand under it. A lot of work to be done here as Leggett's at ground level for the footy. Nathan Denez goes there again. He pops out. Watson gives a handball. Galbraith already kicked one. Had it taken away from him. Cooper does a spinning pirouette to get the handball off. Here's Muir out the back of the pack. Juggles it. Can he get it on the boot? Yes, he can. Warner's there, but it will go an opposite direction to Quinn Clark if he can get there. Worked off it terrifically by Fraser Smith. Now there's Clark again. Goes backwards to a team man in Disney. Disney goes forwards. They've got chances here. Wantirna south. They've got Hewitt open in the goal square. Will it get to him? And no, it just won't. And it's bounced away, and it was so close, but just so far away from Liam Hewitt as it trickles over the line for the minor score.
Missed an opportunity. Goes to Collier Dawkins. And that one's going to be out of bounds on the full. It will be. So that's a
rare mistake there.
Demons a few costly turnovers. Plays on here. Couldn't get the grab for the Devils. Tennant goes around this one. Plays on immediately. There's a few jumpers around this ball. Whittle gets the sort of a tap here. And Agnew gang tackled by two Devils. And that's going to be a ball up. Great to be back down here at Pink's Reserve. Finals footy is back here. Hosted the finals in the grand final last year. Good to be here, and that's going to be spoiled out. Hope you joined the broadcast on Facebook and YouTube for the Eastland match of the round. And if you're driving around, move that dial to 98.1. Have it on all afternoon, please. As the two rucks going at it. Denez gets the hit out for that play. Figamali goes to Disney. Watson gets tackled. But a kick there, that was by Whittle. Leggett getting around this one. Britton will try get this one first. He does so. White around this one and a trip. Might go to Bailey White, and it does. So they go inboard to Collier Dawkins. He's been everywhere. I think Premier Data will have a good day knowing his stats. As goes to Andrew Carter. First look of him. He's come back into the team last week. Had a massive 6-week injury. And he gets spoiled off there. That was by Nathan Denez. Noyop around this ball here. This is good rebound here by the Devils. Big fly taken by Figamali. Couldn't grab this one. Centre of the ground of Pink's Reserve. And Warner around this one. He gets tackled. And that will be a ball up.
I think Jason Heffernan may have to make a decision about trying to stop Riley Collier Dawkins' impact. He's having too much of the ball.
Well, Denez got sat on top of. There's Watson getting a handball off just. His Collier Dawkins couldn't quite take it cleanly. McMillan's in there, just gets a handball into space. Figamali's in pursuit. Will fall to Smith. Smith just with a high dumping kick inside 50. Leading up and jumping over the top of the two falling players was Bailey White. Normally we'd see Nathan Denez go across and affect that contest, but he lost his footing. We've seen quite a few players do that in the past 5 minutes or so.
And the skipper's he's a known goal kicker.
39 on the season. That's exactly right, Brush. And he'll be looking to bring up number 40 here as man on the mark, Steens, 25 out. It's a slight angle. Nothing really that will trouble him. Here's Bailey White to retake the lead for the Demons. 22 and a half gone. White's kick is on its way. White's kick is good. And the Demons take a 4-point lead as we are 22 and a half gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It's Wantirna South 2-3-15 to Montrose 3-1-19.
Well, both sides are playing a really good open brand of football. Do you think this game could actually turn into a bit of a shootout?
It depends on how much Wantirna are going to contest at the middle. I mean, for a final, it's pretty high scoring as it is, but it's also the question of how sustainable is it on such a big ground. Montrose's home ground is so much smaller than this, so are they able to sustain it on this ground here, or will they fall apart after the third quarter?
So there you go, Demons kicked that one there, so a 4-point lead to Montrose.
Middley Wanty South's ground's not that much bigger either.
So then it's who's got the best legs.
Yeah, that's what it's going to come down to.
Well, for Montrose, it's literally a 3 to 5 minute drive. Devils get it inside forward. Warner around this one, but tackled immediately by Frith.
I think what we're looking at is
He's
the way that
rewarded.
The way Wanty South are attacking, it's like I said, it's very over the top, that's the hardest bit to sustain. Whereas we've got a bit more method to the way Montrose are transitioning, moving the ball and hitting targets in the forward line.
So Dillmore around this one.
Downfield, is it?
No, out of bounds.
Okay.
Might have stepped over. So 19 plays 15 in the time on. Definitely here, 24 minutes in on the Eastland match of the round here. Two big supporter bases. The crowd is definitely a big one down here. Allen around this one. Eels gets this one. Back to Tennant. Eels gets another hand pass here. Tennant again. He's just going to get on the outer wing here, but it's mark taken by Lincoln Wong. He plays on immediately, goes to Disney. Disney goes to the top of the goal square, but it's through for a behind. So 2-4-16 to Montrose 3-1-19. 24 minutes in, approaching the 25th minute mark, Chris.
Just an uncontested kick and the mark taken as a result for the Demons. They just again look to build it up quite methodically. They find themselves up 3 points in this contest. Flying at the back of the pack there was Niop. Couldn't quite get there cleanly. Ball carrier wrapped up and the umpire will call for a ball up. Just on true centering on the far side here of Pink's Reserve. Lovely day for footy out here today. As Dinez will win the hit out over Bateman. Fell into the hands of Allen for Montrose. Now looking to burst away. Gavitt, don't argue. Here's Cooper. Will kick inside. He just looked to pull it to get it to Warner. Couldn't quite do so. It went through his hands. A lot of work to be done now. And there's a siren. So our first quarter of action is all wrapped up here in the Division 1 Elimination Final. Scoreboard reads 2-4-16 to Wantirna South, trailing by 3 points to Montrose as 3-1-19. Our goal kickers before we go to a break. Singles to Jesse Warner, Jack O'Keefe for Wantirna South. And then on the Montrose side, singles to Bailey White, Riley Collier-Dawkins, and Tyrone Galbraith. We're going to go to a quick break, and when we return, we'll have our boundary riders with one of the coaches from their huddles to get a bit more information about how they've seen that first term.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her two young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. And let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The superpower I'd love for a day is to fly.
If I could have a superpower for a day, it would be to time travel so I could go back and see how life was when my parents were young and stuff like that.
Be mind reading. It's always good to know what other people are thinking.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, their superpower is always providing compassionate care to families at their absolute time of need. Get to know the team at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Hi, I'm Ben Desson from Montrose Football Netball Club, and when I need a new kit for a night out, I head over to Eastland. But Eastland is more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been major partners of the Eastern Football Netball League since 2018. Thanks, Eastland.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Welcome back, EFNL Sundays of the edition of the finals down here for Division 1 Elimination Final between Montrose and Wantirna South here. Currently at the moment it's Montrose 3-1-19 to Wantirna South 2-4-16 quarter time action down here. We're going to throw it out to the score centre here. We've got Josh Ward here coming on the call team. He couldn't resist, but he's on here.
Of course not.
So yeah,
not when there's some important games around the grounds.
Yes, let us know the scores, mate. What's the big one here? Any big ones?
We'll start with Division 2, and Chris has dropped his head because Lily don't lead early stages. 2-1-13 to Waverley Blues, 1-3-9 in the Division 2 elimination.
That's light work.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't even know that you had a side that you were
No,
based on.
I very much adopted Waverley.
He actually has this season.
It's been a whole season and I've heard nothing, unlike some people.
We'll go through some of the other scores. Division 3 elimination, first semi-final, I should say. Knox 2-5-17 lead Upper Ferntree Gully 2-1-13 in that game out at Wally 2 Reserve. And the Bull Ants with a quick start at quarter time, they lead 5-3-33 to Fair Park, 3 straight 18.
Just on the Division 4 finals, so I think yesterday Churnside had a good start and then Warrandyte had a great start too. So I think that game, even though Bull End have got the head start, I would not be surprised if Fair Park kicked 3 on the trot there. So interesting scores. Knox as well, that's a big one. I think I tipped the Falcons on that one just due to the outs that Upper Gully had. No Strange, no Dylan Nuku, and I think there was one more as well. So a couple key outs for the Kings there.
Did we want a junior grand final score as well? Because we are live streaming, of course, the under 18 girls and under 17.5A boys junior grand final, and in the under 18 girls, Blackburn won 88-10 against East Ringwood, so they finished the season undefeated, and then Blackburn and East Ringwood will meet in the under 17.5 boys. Brett Davidson and Ryan Long on the call out there as well.
Brilliant to see that we've got 2 streams going right now on the call team here today, so we'll find out where our boundary reporters will be. But before we get comment on the boundary, we might throw it off to our special comments chair. I think we're talking off airbrush, and I think the defence from Montrose is where the Demons are in front right now at the moment. Do you agree with that, Brush?
Yeah, they do. I think they're just holding sway a little bit. I think Frith, Boat 10 and Eels, I think they're playing with a little bit more composure at the moment. They're probably, depending on what type of game plan that Wantirna South are wanting to play, I think they're forcing them to try and kick goals from longer out because they seem to be able to chop off all the lines and such. Let's go boundary side.
Yeah, thanks, Brash. Standing here with Montrose coach Brett Johnson. Brett, you'd be pretty happy with that. The boys contested really well in that first term.
Yeah, pretty happy with that first quarter. I thought our contest method was pretty good. We used the footy okay. There was a couple of times going inside 50, we just let them off a little bit, where we needed to force them to defend for a bit longer. Just our positioning sometimes too, we got up a bit high and let them out the back where they looked a bit dangerous. So overall, really happy. We just got to stay composed, ball in hand, and force them to defend.
Lowering the eyes really well. What's the message in this term, seeing now you're kicking with a couple of goal breeze?
No, nothing changes. Yeah, the risk is that we just try and let the breeze do it for us and blaze away. We've got to see it first. We've got to cue off our jumpers as well as theirs and not kick it straight back to them.
Great start. Good luck.
Thanks, mate.
Brett Johnson there. We'll go to Jared Beanland.
Thanks, Blake. Jason Heffernan was similarly happy at the quarter-time huddle. They just want a bit more reward for their clearance dominance and a little bit more presence in the air, better connection with their forwards also, and just try and force Montrose to play a little bit more one-on-one because he's assessing that.
Sorry, Jared, you're breaking up there.
Oh, my apologies. Jason Heffernan's just assessing that the Demons don't want to play one-on-one, so he's just trying to force them to do that.
Thank you. Back again. Galbraith gets the hit out. Carter around this ball. And that's tackled. And it's going to be a push in the back free kick going to Galbraith. So if you just joined us, Montrose 19, Wanty South 16. Eastland match of the round. Deep inside the forward 50 for the Demons. Bateman! Big grab. You would take this mark here. I think he's, I would say, directly in front, just a little bit on an angle here. So this will be a great start for the Demons if he can convert this goal here.
Well, they're playing with a lot of purpose at the moment, Montrose. They're not trying to waste possession.
So Bateman can line up and kick the Demons 4 for the day. He does so. Demons have 4.
I think
4-1-25 to Wantirna South 2-4, 16 minute into this second quarter, M.
I think what we're noticing, Brash, is that, as we mentioned, there's a bit of method to the way Montrose is moving the ball. They're probably a bit more structured around the contest as well, whereas Wantirna South are probably looking at how they rebounding and then transitioning, and so a lot of their scoring opportunities have actually come off the half-back line, as opposed to Montrose being able to clear it from the middle of the ground and be able to hit targets, those really important 15-metre kicks, and then they're able to hit their forward 50s as well.
Very good aerially across the ground so far have been Montrose. Important centre clearance here as Dinez wins the hit out. Will go back to Hunt. He was wrapped up in a tackle immediately. Collier Dawkins spinning away. Got a fist to it. In pursuit of the footy now is Watson. He has to beat out Kaika. No one really won that contest, but now Kaika turns tackler and wraps up Harry Riddle and is rewarded for his pressure. So a repeat effort there. And now Kaika with a few options. Not a ton of movement in front of him. So he will likely just put it down the wing, and he will. Kyle Cooper's there, has a bit of work to do. Got hands to it, couldn't quite take it cleanly. Footy was in the arms of Carter, and now makes its way over the boundary line, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
They're just finding it a little bit hard, Wanty South, to string passages of play together. Very stop-start for mine.
So Galbraith wins the hit out, but he just spun backwards on him completely. Fell into the hands of Hams. Hams now inside 50, a lot of work to do. One in the back there is Andrew. He got bumped off it. Now a chance for Noy to affect the contest. Did well. Now the Devils will work it out. That kick's going to spray wide, and Hunt can't quite reel it in, and that'll be just touched before it made its way over the boundary line. So he's done enough there, Jamie Hunt.
Gee, that was centimetre perfect there by the boundary umpire.
It's a good call, and no arc needed either here at local footy. How good are we? So Galbraith will win it, just got both fists to it.
It's going to be out of bounds on the full here. He's already kicked 1 goal, 1. He looks dangerous as a forward for the Devils.
Can we get a wind update? Because there are a lot of balls going out on the full on this side.
It has dropped off, I think, more than it was at the start of the game.
So plays on there. That was by Carter, goes to Bateman. So just I would say about, there's no arc here. It's definitely a 50 arc down here at Kilsyth. So I think they're probably 70 metres out from goal here. Goes to the pocket, the deep pocket down here of Montrose attacking 50, and that's just going to roll out. It's going to be a boundary throw-in.
What I will say about the wind down here, and what I've noticed over the first 30 minutes, is that it actually is quite swirly down here, so it is changing direction, but it is definitely an advantage of 2 goals.
Thank you, BWS. Just on the pocket. Figamali gets a snapping kick, looking to go for the Devils, and tackled immediately, and it's going to be a ball up.
Noticing that both teams are playing a lot slower, so many options defensively are being cut off, which is a testament to both defences, but it's just a messy game of footy at the moment.
So Demons go deep inside, 2 against 1 though at the back here, and it's going to be a boundary throw-in. So if you just joined us, 5-2-32 Montrose, 3-6-24 Wantirna South, 12.5 minutes in on the Eastland match of the round.
It's almost like a war of wills at the moment.
So love this boundary throw-in. It'll drop about 25 out from the Demons uprights. It was Andrew in there, almost gave a volleyball set as a hit out, and there's a check side going goal, and Nathan Dinez will stand under it, came off his hands. Cooper's there too, bouncing ball they need to deal with here. The Devils, they haven't dealt with it. Here it is, shot at goal after the dummy, and it's there for Hayden Smith.
Good poise there shown by Smith to kick that goal.
Obviously, I'm calling the calling, but what was going on in that back six of Wantirna South there? How was that a goal? I do not know.
Yeah, they
throw it off to you two there.
Well, they had a lot of players around the contest there, Wantirna South, but sometimes some players have just got a little bit of street smarts, and I think Smith showed a little bit there. He sort of he sold the dummy and got a couple of vital metres there to get the kick off, Blake.
Yes, indeed. So the Demons kick there, 6 of the day. Figamali around this one. He's going to be everywhere. He's been one of the contributors in the midfield. Of course, in the clearances, he's right up there. But the whole midfield is up there. Lincoln Wong, the number 1 clearance player in the competition. Ethan Kiker involved in the top 10 as well as Figamali. So Devils midfield is a bit, not going well as what they expected. Leggett gets the kick, going for player there. Tennant around this one. Demons will rebound, and this one's going to float around. It's going to be out of bounds on the full.
Gee, Bo, you're bringing rain there, my friend.
Yes. He's doing well.
But the thing is, though, finals it's a different game of football than home and away, because you've got to try and get the game on your terms for a lot longer than what you do in the home and away season.
Indeed. So the Devils go deep inside the forward 50. Kyle Cooper's around this one. The first to get it is Eels. He'll try and get this one up. And he does the soccer. White around this one. Tackled immediately by the Devils. Goes to Eels. Eels gets a kick, looking for Britton. Britton's got 3 Devils players. Who's going to get there? One's got to get there. Jake McMillan gets the kick. 1-on-1 out the back. Dinez is around this one, the big fella. Gets it around. Bateman will try and get around this ball. There's a lot of pressure around for the Devils here. Wong around this one, gets tackled, and this one's going to be out of bounds.
I know Wanty South, we were saying that they wanted to try and get that man-on-man in their forward line, but there's that extra spare player, Montrose, is having a really massive impact. Really stopping them from getting clear opportunities.
So Nenez just got the hit out almost on the ground to himself there, but it's cleared by the Demons. A lot of numbers back. Muir copped one over the shoulder. Umpire agrees.
Former Eastern Rangers player as well, Ryan Muir.
And he's got quite a leap on him, which is why we've seen him go through the ruck at times today. And his kick will just spin side to side and drop straight to a Montrose defender who is really just the only one in that pack of 5 or 6 to read the footy properly. And a chance for the Demons now to just clear their lines once more. They'll do so. Pack forming 3v2. Muir's there again. There's the leap we were talking about. Takes a mark comfortably.
Let's see if he can do better with this kick.
And that one will just hang on the head of a teammate. Well channeled kick. They'll play on and go straight away there. There was Cooper. Looked into the pocket. Finds a teammate. Brilliant kick there from Kyle Cooper. But he's asking of his teammate now, Jared Smith, to replicate that. Another brilliant kick from a very tight angle for a right footer.
Jared Smith's one of these players. I've watched him as a young footballer. He's got a happy knack of kicking goals from some very, very unusual areas of the ground.
So he's a step in from the boundary line, maybe 25 out. Here he is, Smith, for goal number 9 on the season, has put it way across. It won't score, but there is quite a pack. And soaring in that pack is the Wantirna South man, I believe, in Kyle Cooper.
Had a good purple patch here, Cooper, over the last 5 minutes. Seemed to be able to find his way into that forward 50.
Well, he set up Smith on that last one, saw his teammate pull a wide and thought, all right, I'll take another go myself. So he'll be snapping here. Not a hard kick it should be for a man of his ilk, and it isn't. Cole Cooper gets his first for the day, and the Devils respond in this second term.
Just a quick one before the special comments have comment here. Stream's back working at the moment. If you just joined us, 6-2-38. Demons, Wantirna South, 3-6-24. Special comments?
Yeah, go on him.
No, I was just going to say, Cooper, he's a 4 times BNF winner at Chiltern, so back where the Lappins are from. So he's a country boy that's moved to Brighton this year, and he's been given really good opportunities down at the Zebs, but also obviously playing local as well.
Well, showed his class there.
So 8-point lead at the moment going to the Demons. 2 rucks going at it, Galbraith and Muir. Galbraith
As Galbraith has gone back in, he's taken on Muir. It seems like Wantirna South might have made the call that Muir's probably better matched up against him for
literally going to
Jack
say
Dennis.
that. So I was going to say, because we've got Dinez down in the forward line now, and I'm going, Muir's been rucking a fair bit here.
Yeah, good. That was a good pick up there, Jared.
So back to the game.
Also should do specials. Couldn't get that out.
We've got a few applications for next year. Or
my job's on the line.
And that might be a high tackle free kick going to Collier Dawkins.
Well, it took the umpire a little bit of a while to pay that free kick. I think he was hedging his bets there to see whether Montrose were going to get the advantage of out of that, but obviously not.
So Collier Dawkins going to back himself with a player that he is. He's going to definitely do a lot. He's going to take a big kick here outside 50. Kick is going to drift to the right. Park taken down the back. That was by the skipper and Bailey White.
Great mark.
Yeah.
Right in front of the Montrose faithful, if you don't mind. A few cars around. Boys will be loving this, I reckon, if this goes through.
The old special BWS boo-na-na coming up here.
Yeah. There's my younger brother in the background there. Bailey White can snap around the corner for this ball here. He plays on here, does Bailey White, and singles to the crowd. Demons in front by 14 points. Midway through this second quarter here.
That's criminal from the Devils' defence there. They have a lot of big boys back there. Muir was down there, Nyot was down there, Deng Andrew was down there. These are all guys that have made a living in this division and in this competition, just getting over the top of contests and affecting them. And just none of them able to read the flight of the footy quite as well as Bailey White did there.
Yeah, it's almost embarrassing when a 3-on-1 and you're the small forward taking the mark.
I'll tell you what, down the other end, it was almost a 3-on-1 for a good couple of kicks. So Montrose are doing the same thing to them too.
Exactly.
Giving them opportunities, just capitalising on them.
So Dinez back in the ruck on this occasion. We'll see if he can replicate some of the fortune that his teammate Muir has had in there. Footy just hits the deck here almost a bit oddly. Kaika was in there. Now his handball came from Caney. Footy's been sent inside 50. Disney there. Dropped it. Couldn't quite get back to it. Still footy to be won here. Big hit late on Jamie Hunt. And footy makes its way over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in.
We've got Dinez back in the ruck now too. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here in terms of all the body work and the contest.
So we'll see when Galbraith engages with him here. It's been a fascinating duel so far. Goes late, Dinez wins this one though. Kaika inside the midfield now. Couldn't quite take it out. Footage just spilled loose. Dinez squibs a handball out. Now it's going to go the handball from Caney. Turned over though. Montrose with a chance to slingshot. A lot of work to be done though. Nyops there and takes the intercept mark well. So just on that last line of defence. And he'll find Kaika. Kaika, maybe a magnet that's been moved further into the guts here. As he's been around the footy a fair bit recently. And he'll just look long. Dinez standing under it, copped a bump. Footy came to ground level. Wong turns tackler. It's had a quiet one so far, Lincoln Wong. It doesn't feel like we've been calling his name as much as we normally would be.
Yeah, him and Caney probably need to lift their work rate because they're not getting a run out of those two at the moment.
Dinez wins the hit out, goes down to Collier Dawkins, though, wrapped up immediately. Great tackle. Here's Fegan-Marley, who gets it at ground level, gets it back, gave a handball off. Wrapped up immediately. He's got 22 gone in this second term.
So it looks like O'Keefe's back on the ground.
Yeah, and Rucks will go ready to go out again. Galbraith almost jumped over Dinez there. There's Watson extracting it. Gets it back to Tennant. Tennant with a good kick to a 1v1 contest out the back. Good body position from Kyle Taylor there, who takes intercept mark. And Wantirna South just able to lock it inside their forward 50 a bit here, or their forward half, I should say.
Well, they do. So we're 22 and a half minutes in, so time on is definitely around this one here. Wong gets the hand pass to Figure Marley. On the pocket now of Kilsyth Reserve. Gardol with the spoil. Getting around here, here's Caney. He knows how to kick a very good goal at a very good time, but that one's smothered and it's going to be a ball up. Good seeing Oliver Wallace getting his first look, had his first game last week in the senior side. Good around him. Galbraith around this one, been in the ruck. He just bombs it on the boot, one-on-one out here for Bailey White on Nathan Dinez here. And that is a great crunching tackle there by Nathan Dinez.
Actually, that wasn't a bad piece of play by White to try and at least get a stoppage out of that too.
So Allen in the ruck, Noyop just takes advantage of that. He gets a tackle, or top of the ruck, sorry. Cooper around this ball here. He's been pretty lively for the Devils. Carla can try and get this one out here. One-on-one, Britton.
Wantirna had done so well with their spare player back, and that's what happens when you let your forward have 10 metres spare. Very easy hit a target for Montrose. Well done.
So Britton will probably kick in this one, I would say, maybe around 44 metres, I would say.
I reckon Britton's a better kick on the run than he is a standing shot, but he probably could prove me wrong here.
Well, let's see how this one goes, Brash. Riley Britton coming across from Croydon this year. He's kicked a couple of bags here and there for the Demons, and the win will take that one, but it's touched. So 7-3-45, Montrose to Wantirna South, 4-6-30. We've gone 24 minutes in to this second quarter, Chris.
So well done from Andrew on the line there. He'll bring this one out from the kick in, play on, just hoof it down the line. Watson's going to get a good run of it, got two hands to it. Couldn't quite bring it down himself. Cooper, now Watson turns tackler. So footy about 55 out from the Montrose uprights. 24 and a half gone in this second term. Betting a Bank scoreboard reads on Wantirna South 4-6-30, trailing the Montrose Demons 7-3-45, 15 points to margin. Looking to add on to it here as Bailey Watson couldn't quite get it himself. Now they're bringing it out. A chance here for Smith, wrapped up. Still he gets it out. Who's going to get the footy out here? No one really knows at the moment as Kike is there. His handball smothered. Shot at goal's going to go. Shot at goal's going to go through. It's Griffin Allen. He's got his first. Montrose have their eighth. And the Demons are storming through towards the end of this first half.
Very handy goal on the stroke of half time here.
Doesn't really kick many goals, does Allen? Obviously, he's a midfielder, so...
But sometimes they kick them when you really need them, Blake.
Yeah.
Because 15 points now turns into 21. That's 4 kicks that Wantirna South need to find to get back in front and back into the contest. It's not going to be easy.
I think he's up there in the reserves, best and fairest. So the Demons have found a good one there.
Another goal here by Montrose is going to make it very, very interesting coming into the second half.
Yes, indeed. So a 21-point lead to the Demons.
It's a throw.
Thanks, Brash. As a tackle there, that was by Kiker, and it's going to be a ball up.
Dinez really looking like is really looking like he's finding his feet at the moment. He's had some really great contests in the last 6 or 7 minutes.
Well, they've changed the ruck battle, so Dinez just gets that one out of the ruck there. So it looks like Bailey Bateman in the ruck here. And this one's going to be down with Wallace around this ball here. Dinez going to get this ball, snaps around the corner, gets tackled immediately though. Garfade around this ball, he gets tackled. It's going to be a ball up.
Looks like he's changing his style to that more run and jump. So rather than trying to outbody, he's trying to get front of the ball. Oh, sorry, front of the player.
So here we go. Deep inside the Devils attacking 50 here, and it's on the pocket. It's going to be a ball up yet again. Approaching half-time on the Eastland match of the round. Deep inside the Devils forward 50 here. Cooper swings around, gets tackled. Nothing called. This one going to get there. Gardol has this ball. The general down back. Wallace around this ball here, and this one's going to roll in. It's going to be a boundary throw in. .26 minutes into the second quarter. Approaching the main break here. We'll have a halftime show to come as well, so stick around for that one. If you're on the couch today, Figure Malik plays on, gets a kick. This will be good for the Devils on the brink of half time, and that one's just going to roll through, and it's going to be through for a behind. 4-7-31, the Devils in Montrose, 8-3-51. So 27 minutes in to this second quarter.
For a game that's been played mostly in Wantirna's forward half for the ground, Montrose have done really well to actually attack and get a score.
That's exactly right, Em. 2 goals, 3 plays 5 goals, 2 in this second quarter. So it's been the Demons without the territory, but with the scoreboard impact is this one looking to replicate for the Devils. Instead, the handball comes out through Smith. Is it a handball, though? Umpire says no, it's not. Smith can't believe it, but it will be Jamie Hunt going back to have a chance at narrowing this margin. What do you reckon, Brash? Was that one a throw?
No.
Mate,
I reckon he's had X-ray vision there, that umpire.
maybe just evening the ledger there a bit.
Well, he's picked it from 40 metres away. I love to know how he had the right sight for it.
The other one wasn't a throw, by the way, Brush.
So Jamie Hunt here will kick from about 45 or so, maybe a bit more. Slight angle. The Devils need this one. Hunt's kick is on its way. It's pulled to the left. It will fall short too before being tapped over the line for another rush behind. So that moves to Wantirna South. 4 goals, 8-32.
Testament to the way Montrose are defending. They're just not letting Wantirna get any deeper entries either. So there's just no leading targets. Great work by them.
So Tennant will bring it out through this kick in. Just look to take territory on the far side wing. Can't be too much longer left in this term as we've played 29, and just on cue, there you are. It's half-time here in the elimination final in Division 1. Bendigo Bank scoreboard reads Wantirna South 4 goals, 8-32, trailing by 19 points to the Montrose Demons, 8-3-51. Your goal scorers before we go to our main break. For Wantirna South, singles to Kyle Cooper, Jesse Warner, Jack O'Keefe and Liam Hewitt. And on the other side of things, for the Montrose Demons, Bailey White has 2. And then we have singles to Hayden Smith, Riley Collier-Dawkins, Ty Galbraith, Griffin Allen, Bailey Bateman and William Milton. It's the Demons by 19. We'll have our halftime crew on shortly. But for now, we'll go to our main break.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her 2 young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. And let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner, broke a finger high-fiving the ruckman, or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The superpower I'd love for a day is to fly.
If I could have a superpower for a day, it would be to time travel so I could go back and see how life was when my parents were young and stuff like that.
Be mind reading. It's always good to know what other people are thinking.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, their superpower is always providing compassionate care to families at their absolute time of need. Get to know the team at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Do you want to study at the #1 sports science school worldwide? Study sport at Deakin and benefit from the most advanced sports facilities available, from running tracks to biomechanics labs, and decked out gyms to a climate chamber. Deakin have what you need to graduate ahead of the pack. Discover endless opportunities in sports science by visiting deakin.edu.au/sport. Deakin, proud sponsors of the EFNL.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Welcome back to Peaks Reserve for the Eastland match of the round Division 1 Elimination Finals, and it is the D's 8-3-51 leading Wantirna South 4-8-32 as we head into the main breakout here in front of a sun-bathed Pinks Reserve as well. Josh Ward here alongside Matt Spider-Lee, and James Gagnon has also been good enough to join us. Jared Beanland, who's been on the boundary in the first half as well. And Jared, I'll throw it to you first. From ground level, what have you made of this contest so far?
Yeah, it's been really interesting, Josh. I think I think Em made a really good comment at the end of that quarter that Wantirna South has not been able to get too many deep entries. Montrose's defence has really forced them to have those longer shots from a Wantirna South perspective. I also think that midfield battle is really intriguing. I'm surprised that Wong hasn't started to get going. Figure Marley's thrown his weight around, but hasn't had the impact that he perhaps would have wanted. I've really liked Hayden Smith's game and Andrew Carter as well.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, Jared. I mean, I just think the work that they're doing, Montrose, has been really impressive, particularly through the midfield. I think, you know, the way that they have been able to move the ball to the outside has really played an important factor in this first half. I mean, it's been one of those games when the ball's on the inside, you feel like Wantirna South can get the ball and then can move it with some purpose. But when Montrose have that ability to flip it to the outside, it just looks like it's a Montrose game. And guys like Carter are having some impact in terms of using the ball well. Britton's doing some really nice things. He's been linking up well as well. And I think even when you look from their defensive point of view, guys like Tennant playing a really good game. And you have to acknowledge even a guy like Fraser Smith, doing some really good things as well. So I think from Montrose's perspective, they'd be really happy with the way that they've set this game up to get off to a good start.
Absolutely. James, your thought on this first half so far? Good to have you in here for this Eastland match of the round 2.
Yeah, thank you, Josh. It's great to be back on here. I just feel like Montrose in this first half has been a bit cleaner. They're better off the ground. Wantirna, they're better battling in air, the Devils. I feel like if in this third quarter coming up, if they can start clunking those big marks, like we know they can, like Dinez and all those taller blokes. I feel like they can work their way back into this because they've kicked 4-8. Like they could
they've had chances, but they're having those longer shots, aren't they, James?
Yeah, they're sort of just like blasting away from the arc, and it's not going their way. They're sort of swinging it left a few times. No win today, I believe.
I'd like to see them lower their eyes a bit, just in terms of hit some targets up, put a bit more pressure on the Montrose defenders. You reckon, James?
Which I reckon Montrose are doing quite well to Wantirna's back six, and touching on that. Wantirna defence, they've been pretty poor, especially in that middle point of that second quarter. It just looked like they collapsed, especially there was one point where they had maybe like 4 players around the footy and the one Montrose player just walked through them all and kicked a goal. So that was really poor to see, and I feel like if they can't clean that up, it's over.
And as good as their defence has been this season, Jared, it still feels like a weak point in their side, particularly without Luke Grimer to help guide them, or someone with maybe a bit more experience. There is experienced defenders like Nathan Dinez, who hasn't quite had the impact like he normally would. He still had his moments, but I think maybe if you move one of your more experienced players down there, maybe this is where they're missing a guy like Will Clark, who provides a fair bit of experience too.
Yes, I have to agree with you, Josh. I think Wantirna South are also just in danger, and they have been throughout several times of the season, of having a few passengers, having a few players that don't have the impact, such as Caney. He's got to have more of an impact. I think Jared Smith, he's not done as much as I would have liked, and Heath Disney as well had a really good first quarter, but just seemed to fade out of the game as well. Look, there's a lot of upside, is what I'm saying, for Wantirna South, and Jason Heffernan, we know he can give a good rev up. I wonder what's being said at halftime, and I wonder if we'll be able to hear it.
I was going to say, I'm surprised we aren't hearing anything at the moment, because we're right above the club rooms out here at our Pinks Reserve, and I've heard a pin drop so far, actually, which is surprising.
Sorry, I think it's just a matter of Jason reinforcing to his players to have that belief to use the ball better. All right, when they have possession of the ball, use it better, use it cleaner, and give your forwards a chance. At the moment, I don't feel like they're giving their forwards a chance to score. From good angles and good shots. Like they're having those deeper shots. So that's something they're going to have to really fix up.
Absolutely. Before we go to another break here and bring in the second half of the call team for this match of the round, we're going to go around the grounds and we'll start off with Division 2 as we did before, and it is Waverley Blues who, after a slow start, they've found gear and lead 7-5-47 to Lilydale 34-22. I think Chris Cordes will be quite glad the camera isn't on at the moment. He's a very happy man after jumping on his South bandwagon. So at this stage, they'll play Mulgrave in an elimination final, but still a half to play out there at Walker Park in the Division 3 first semi-final. Upper Ferntree Gully 5-8-38 lead Knox 3-6-24. So that's a half-time score out there at Wally Chew Reserve, and that's been a pretty interesting contest. Some inaccuracy from both sides as well.
Tough conditions too.
Yeah, and then in Division 4, the Bull Ants are blazing away from Fair Park at the moment. They polled on the goals in the first quarter and the second term as well. They lead 10-7-67, the Bull Ants, to Fair Park 4-2-26, and that's half-time out at East Ringwood Reserve. So I think of all those results, probably the margin out of Bulleen, Templestowe and Fair Park, we thought it might be a bit of a closer contest, given they met 2 weeks ago and it was a close game there, but the Bull Ants are just blitzing them at the moment.
Yeah, got off to a brilliant start, the Bull Ants, so it'll be interesting to track that in the second half.
Before we go, once again, to one last break here, just your final thoughts ahead of this second half. What do the Devils need to do? Do we think they can get over the line, James, or do we think the D's can hold sway?
Well, what I see for them at the moment is that when the Devils, like I said earlier, what I touched on, if they can get those marks up in the air, they can outmark, they can outkick Montrose. But I just feel like the Demons, very similar names. I'm getting confused there.
I was going to say they are similar.
They're very good at halving at the moment, and they're better on the ground. So if Wantirna can just be a little bit cleaner with their kicking and their marking, overall they can work their way back into this. And obviously, like Spider said, just lower the eyes a bit. They're going too far up the ground, and if they can just hit those short ones, hit the short kicks, and get the shorter goals, and they have all reason to believe they can take the scalp.
Absolutely, Jared and Spider, your final thoughts ahead of this second half?
Well, I'm still backing Wantirna South. That was my tip right at the start of the game. I still think they will have the belief. More scoring shots as well currently, just more inaccurate. So if they can get maybe a little bit more overlap run, give their forwards a bit of a better chance, as James was saying as well, with the lowering the eyes. Yeah, I'm still with them.
Yeah, look, I still will have Wantirna South, but if they can halve this margin by about, keep it to about a goal and a half, at less than a goal and a half at three-quarter time, they give themselves a chance. But Montrose, if they kick the first few in this quarter, could be hard to trace down, I think.
Absolutely. We're going to go to one final break here. When we return, the call team will assemble and bring you the second half of action out here at Pink's Reserve.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in, because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice-cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair.
Yeah, that's great.
Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home, at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The one thing that puts a smile on my face is my kids.
The sun shining through the clouds, even in winter, absolutely puts the biggest smile on my face.
Seeing delicious food on the table ready for me when I get home.
One thing that always puts a smile on my face is seeing my family.
The thing that puts a smile on my face every time is really good music.
Just the simple pleasures in life.
Be remembered for the greatest moments in your life. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There are only 3 things that should be flushed down your toilet. Pee, poo and paper. Some wet wipes and antibacterial wipes say that you can flush them, but you can't. They clog up the toilet and pipes, causing expensive blockages. Save yourself a truckload of trouble. Put your wet wipes in the bin. To learn more, head to the Yarra Valley Water website, yvw.com.au/wet-wipes.
Hi, Dylan Dow from the Baroni Football Netball Club here. When I need to grab a quick coffee or a bite to eat, I'm popping into Eastland. Eastland's more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been a major partner of the EFNL since 2018. Cheers, Eastland.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Yes, welcome back, Eastland, match of the round, and what a contest we got at the moment. Currently, the Demons in Montrose are leading this ball game here, 8-3-51 to Wantirna South, 4-7-31, a 20-point lead to the Demons. And we're in the third quarter, the premiership quarter, as some people like to call it here. And this is where the game is to be won here. My name is Blake Tennant, joined by a collective of a good group here. Chris Cordes alongside me. Special comments today. We'll throw it off straight away to the special comments in Wayne Brasher and Em Mackay. What's your thoughts just quickly?
Opening 10 minutes is going to be really important for Wantirna South here. They need to score early.
And we're underway, and it was Dinez that looked to get the clearance, but just caught entirely the belly of the ball. So pretty poor from the big man there as Galbraith's handball only went as far as McMillan. Now they're chanting up figure. Marley got it to Wong. First inside 50 goes the way of the Devils. Montrose, plenty of bodies there holding. Free kick though, going the way of the Devils. And we said the first 10 minutes was early. How about the first minute here as Jack O'Keefe has a chance to kick his second of the day in what would be a brilliant start for Wantirna.
This is a must-kick goal as far as I'm concerned. They have to kick this goal.
Exactly right. Brush has to go in. Little to no angle here, especially on the side favouring a right footer.
Is wind going to be a factor for this one?
It shouldn't, Em, but you never know here.
It'll be a 30-metre kick. So here's O'Keefe to get the second half started on the right foot for his side. Kick with drift left and with drift left too much. It's a poor miss from Jack O'Keefe there. He is better than that as we're just a minute into the third term. We have our first score, but just a minor for now. So Wantirna South 4-9-33, Montrose 8-3-51 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Actually, these were the prevailing type conditions in the grand final last year. The wind did play tricks if the players didn't allow enough for it.
So we're back to the contest, and what's the umpire called? A free kick to Collier Dawkins. We're in the club today. So Collier Dawkins plays on immediately, just on the outer wing, looking for Galbraith. Galbraith marks.
Super consistent today, Galbraith.
Yeah.
He's done a good job, I reckon.
Considering the output, but not that kick. But Frith gets around this one. Dinez gets this one, scoops it around, looking for Hewitt.
And that's what we saw in the first quarter was Wantirna South sort of getting the ball from a more contest style and trying to kick it, bomb the ball forward. And so it's looking like they're probably going to set themselves up for doing a similar thing this quarter.
So Warner,
sorry, yes.
I think the thing is when you're kicking with a bit of a swirling wind, sometimes it's probably best not to allow for it and just kick it as you normally would, right, if there was none at all. Because I think as soon as you start disallowing for it, it creeps into your play.
So Jesse Warner lines up and Goapai doesn't move. And that is a goal. The Devils kick another one there. That's their first of the quarter. And just slowly going around at the moment. 5-9-39, the Devils. Montrose 8-3-51.
Admittedly, though, the goal umpire did move to his right, as you can see. So that might have been nearly line ball there.
Jeez, I'm getting corrected here by Wayne Brusher. I like it, though.
So a good kick there from Warner. Kicked through the ball, really punched through it. Might be the blueprint for some of his teammates.
I reckon Brash is going to start doing play-by-play calling.
I doubt it very, very much. I'll be long retired before that ever happens. Or the old term, hell freezes over.
So important centre clearance here as Galbraith will win the hit out, and it goes away the Demons as Watson wheels away, gets on the left boot, standing under it there and taking the intercept mark well was Lachlan Noy. Noy looks to go quickly, will go towards the corridor, just go to Jake Dinez, dropped what he definitely should have taken. Galbraith handball will find space, Kike is in pursuit, but he'll go and rove himself. Here's Watson now, really just dropped the ball in front of his teammate, couldn't do much else with it. Smith around there, so too there is Tantamat. Umpire calls for the ball.
I reckon I know why Gardol gets really angry.
Here we go.
Why's that, Brush?
Because someone else is wearing his number 9.
So it will be McMillan here looking to extract the footy. Umpire called for it before he got boot to ball.
Let's just put it this way. His old man used to wear that in Watson. So that's the whole reason why.
Dinez wins the hit out. Didn't really go anywhere though. Galbraith at ground level looking to extract it. Dylan Moore turns tackler though.
Bit of Montrose history. We love that, Blake. Thank you.
No worries.
Montrose trivia. Great word.
So Dinez will start from a long way back. Got this hit out uncontested though. Needs Figamala to get to it and he does well there. Salel. Now we'll go to the wing. Just puts it in front of the contest. 1v1. O'Keefe's in pursuit. But so too there is Bowden for Montrose. And the defender's done well there. He's just gone on it over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in true centre wing. So Rux will get ready to go at it again. It's nearing the 5-minute mark in this third term. Next score is very important. As Dinez gets a bit of body work, but it's Galbraith through the hit out. Hit Jack O'Keefe, but he couldn't quite take it cleanly. Here's Collier Dawkins, throws on the right boot. Will bounce in front of his teammate in Whittle. Just go over the top of him. Now McMillan turns tackler, and he does well to do so there. Just locks it in.
It's really turning scrappy. We're starting to see so many more numbers at that contest around the ground. So it's just a bit of a dogfight out there.
Yeah, so Dinez blocked out of his run and jump in the contest. So he'll be rewarded with a free kick. Had Cooper to his left, but didn't give it to him. Instead, he'll elect to kick himself. Got the instep. Maybe we start handing those ones off, Jakey, as he goes into the middle. Here's O'Keefe wrapped up.
Yeah, well, that was a shank, if I've ever seen one.
He's a good kick normally, though, so it is a bit uncharacteristic. He's a good user by foot. Jake Dinez, he wins a hit out that time, so he's still effective in that vein of the game. As a shot at goal is going to soar, and it will soar to the left just across the face of goal. We'll have a boundary throw in the forward pocket for and turn to south.
He hasn't had many touches today, Heath Disney. He probably needs to do a little bit more. McMillan and Hewitt also, they've got to try and find a way of getting into the contest in this second half.
Boundary throw will drop 30 out from the Devils upright. Wong roves it, looked to get it off to a teammate and wrapped up immediately was Heath Disney. Fantastic defensive pressure there from the Demons.
Looks like it's going to be another game with the ball being in Wantirna South's half. Montrose doing really well. It was a great tackle.
So Rux will go at it once more. This time it's Clark who wins the hit out. Shot at goal's going to go through. Wantirna South go bang, bang very quickly. And the Devils have another on the board. Or do they?
What's happening here?
I think Montrose were going for the touch.
What's happening here?
Well, the umpires will discuss. I think it was Lincoln Wong that snapped it.
It's a go away, he's saying.
It was definitely Lincoln Wong. It did not look like it was touched
And
from
he
here,
was
but they've
touched.
just given
There
it.
you go. So Montrose maybe let off the hook a bit there, but just the minor score for now.
Yes, that's me brother. They were saying that one. In Bow, Tennant. Hayden Smith.
Very common characteristic. Go away, Tennant.
Oh, I've heard it here. So Tennant
Runs in the family.
Tennant will have this one on the outer wing. He plays on here. Big two rucks going at it, but first to get there is the Devils. They take a good mark here. Cooper around this ball, plays on immediately. And that man in Gardol should have taken that mark, but didn't. But tackled the second effort was superb there by Gardol. That's going to be another ball up. 51 plays 40. Montrose lead by 11 points. Hasn't been in the Montrose attacking 50 this quarter. Caney around this ball, gives it off to Kaika. Kaika with the hand pass back to Caney. Caney on the pocket here. Who's going to get this one up here? Hewitt!
Great mark.
And Liam Hewitt will have this say.
He's finally getting the reward for all the effort, Wantirna.
Well, they actually, like I said, in games of football, and momentum's a big thing, and sometimes you only get it for an X and finite time, and Wantirna South at the moment are taking advantage of that.
So Liam Hewitt can line up and kick the Devils 6 of the day and put the margin back to 5 points. Liam Hewitt lines up. Goal umpire did not move there. And that is a goal. 6:10:46 to Montrose, 8:3:51. 8 minutes into this third quarter, Chris.
Well, it's the guys that they can rely on time and time again for these set shots. Warner and Hewitt on that occasion. They stood up well. 2 goals each for those two pillars up forward now. And that one definitely wasn't touched. So you're right, Blake. 9 minutes gone on the third term. Bendigo Bank scoreboard reads Wantirna South 6:10:46. Montrose 8:3:51. It's a 5-point lead for the Demons. Cut down from what stood at 19 at half-time. So the Devils have made a very good start. We saw them do this last year in the Division 2 Grand Final against Templestowe. They had an absolutely barnstorming second half. And they started off on that path here. So I'd like to continue this. It's Bateman against Dinez. Again, these centre ball up opportunities becoming all the more important as the game wears on. Dinez wins this one. Kaika couldn't quite take it cleanly off the ground, and it's sent forward on the boot by Tanzimant. Couple under it for the Demons, punched around the back. Neop has a lot to do there. Nathan Dinez applying the help, and will get it rushed over for a behind. And now he'll just wheel around and play on straight away. Took all the 15 metres he was awarded, and then out the back, big intercept mark there by Gardol. And he's directing traffic there, just telling his teammates to flood forward a bit. We'll just look to take territory with the kick. Footy will drop 30 out. Nathan Dinez gets a good run at it, and he takes the mark. So Dinez will switch play. Gets it to a teammate in Smith. Smith one more down the line. Dylan Moore takes the mark. Leggett's next to him. Won't give it to him. Has another option for a handball receiver and does. There's Smith, good work rate from the man. Gives off a handball as he was set upon immediately. O'Keefe showed good agility. Got away from the tackle eventually. Went inside to Leggett. Leggett can go to Andrew but doesn't. Instead, he will look to just chip it to Wong. Collier Dawkins crushed the pack. There's footy to be won here. White's helped out. Here's Smith. They'll go through the middle. Tamsinmat fell. Wrapped up in the tackle by Hunt. Dinez just palmed it forward. Now here are the Demons. Intercepted by Leggett. Leggett wheels away. Gets it to Smith. Footy will drop in front of him. Hit his shoulder. It's going any which way. It was a slow step inside. He made a mule of it. Here's Dylan Moore now. Looked to step inside himself. Got wrapped up. Umpire says play on. Bateman with the kick now for the Demons. It's a 1v1 for the Demons now. Just outside forward 50. Mark taken there well from Riley Britton.
Gee, the intensity's gone up now in this second half.
Definitely has, and they'll kick to the wing. Mark taken just inside the field of play. And it's taken by Andrew Carter. Gee, they had the chance to go out there, didn't they, through Smith, but he fumbled it. Carter's kick central. Dang, Andrew gets a big right hand to it. Hunt taps it back to Nathan Dinez. He was hit as he kicked, so it's gone straight up. No one went up with Galbraith, but the footy just blew away from him in the breeze. Leggett looks to just storm through. Got boot to ball. Here's Hewitt up in his defensive 50, looking to get it to another teammate out the back of the pack. Well taken mark from Warner. He's tossed to the deck. What's the umpire call going to be? Nothing. Maybe a bit generous there, as play has been slowed down now to a halt. Warner will just send it inside 50, went over the head of Clark and will fall into the waiting arms of the Montrose defence as they'll look to go through the middle and find a teammate in Fraser Smith.
So Smith now sees, I think the Devils will be happy right now because the ball's been in there attacking 50 pretty much this whole quarter here. Andrew intercepts, takes a good mark. He plays on immediately, goes to Wong. Wong goes deep inside the forward 50 of Wantirna South. Who's going to get their tenant around this one? Someone needs to fix their mark. Snap around the corner, and that's through for a behind.
That being said, though, Blake, Wantirna South are looking to play on and get more numbers running laterally across the ground to try and spread that Montrose defence again. And it's working at the moment because Montrose can't get the game on their terms. They're wanting to slow the game down. Wanty South are trying to up the pace on it.
So Tennant plays on. Big five from Galbraith. He's been everywhere for the Demons. He'll be in the votes, I reckon, for a lot of people today. Gets a spoil there. Smith around this ball, gets a hand pass. This is the Demons sort of footy here. White, centre of the ground of Kilsyth Reserve. Out the back here, he's got a player on. Tansmat doesn't go for it. Tansmat's going to back himself in here.
Well, he needs to kick the goal, Tansmat, because I think he's only had about 2 or 3 touches this afternoon.
That was just fans just caught way too high. There was about 4 of them tracking back in the line and just had to watch as the footy sailed over their heads.
They overcommitted there, Chris, the Wanty South defence.
Hegel was that ball movement there in the centre of the ground, though.
That was really good, yes.
They've been doing that all day, and I've really liked their courage to take on those 15, 20-metre kicks to the middle of the ground. It opens up the game a little bit more, and this is the result.
Tansman, a known goal kicker for the Demons. Can he kick his first of the day and put the Demons back by 12 points? The goal umpire doesn't move. Demons get a set break here. 9:4:58 to Wantirna South, 6:10:46, 14.5 minutes into this third quarter.
That's a really good steadying goal there for Montrose. They need it because Wantirna South are coming and they just momentarily just take the momentum back off them.
And just quickly back to what you said earlier, Blake, if we could get the person with the orange microphone to take it out of their pocket and turn the microphone off. You're currently both muted because of that.
So Muir soared highest in the ruck. There's Collier Dawkins. Just sends a kick forward. Not his best one. Hunt had to stand over it. Nearly got cluttered but didn't in the end. It's sent forward now by Hams. Nathan Dinez has a lot of work to do there in the defensive contest. He'll pick up the footy. Look to give a handball off. He did well in the end. It's been one of his quieter games, Nathan Dinez, but he's still been impactful.
Yeah. Oh, he will be in the team of the year. Oh, no questions.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Confirmed they also heard me too. They've turned
Well, hard to say because it was bothering me. So
the Rucks will get ready to go at it again. It's Muir. It's Galbraith as well. Hit out goes backwards. Hunt just gives a long looping handball over the top to Figamali, who somehow still got it out. He's a raging bull in there. He's hard to tackle, Figamali is. Now Wallace gets a handball out, looking to extract it. Whistle's been blown. Holding free kick will go the way of the Devils, and it will go the way of that man that we just mentioned there, Nathan Dinez. So he's got about every teammate on Pink's reserve screaming for the footy here. He'll wheel onto his right boot and just pump it to the wing. He's looking for his brother there in Jake. Jake looked to turn around, took out Hewitt, but Cooper's there doing the roving. They have a few numbers inside forward 50 if they can get it there, but first they need to link up through hands. Hunt, his handball bounced away from Figamali, fell to Cooper. Hunt needs to go again. There's Figamali. It's the same 3 people all around it all the time for the Devils, and eventually Watson lays the tackle, and we'll have a ball up true centre wing near side.
Jared, I got a bit of homework for you. I want you to look up the key matchup of Lincoln Wong and Hayden Smith. Tell me what's going on there.
So Watson will look to rove here. It falls into Figamali's hands. Asked a lot of his teammate in Kane. His handball went well over his head. Watson hit as he kicked. Out the back, just playing sweeper keeper there is Jamie Hunt and takes the mark. Hunt will wheel on to the right. Looked for a lead up in front of the footy. One of them, there's Hewitt. Gee, soared high, couldn't quite come down with it. Ball ended up in the hands of Wallace. He had hands free and the umpire agrees. So the sustained pressure there from the Devils means they'll be rewarded with a shot on goal.
He's had a really good game, Cooper. I reckon he's really he's upped his ante in the third quarter. He's been involved in everything.
Exactly right, Bryce. And it was someone that head coach Jason Heffernan flagged in the pre-game as an absolute brilliant footballer. They're only at him for, I think he said, 3 games. So we just about qualified for the final series. And he's looking to hit the scoreboard for the second time in game number 4 this season for Wantirna South. And God, do they need this. The kick will come from a 45-degree angle, just under 40 metres out. Cooper on the right boot. It started well. Will it stay well? Yes, it will. The Devils cut the lead to 5 once more.
And it's just one of those great stories of country footballers coming down to the city or the suburbs, playing a high level of football and, getting those games in so they can come back and also play a bit of local here too and have a massive impact on the game.
Just got a quick score down at Wally Chew. Upper Fenture Gully have flexed their muscle here a little bit. They lead 7-10-52 to Knox 3-8-26.
That's considering the ounce from Upper Gully, it's a bit of a surprise. Knox have got two sides, so back to this game here. 2 rucks going on it. Muir gets a hit out straight down to Cooper. Cooper gets it inside, 50 for the Devils. Big grab taken. Warner again. So Jesse Warner already kicked 2. Last time these two sides met, he kicked 4, 3 goals in a quarter.
And quickly, Blake, 17 minutes into the third quarter, Bulleen Temp up by 36, 11-9-75. Fair Park 6-3-39.
Thank you, Brash. We'll get some more scores. So Jesse Warner, he knows how to kick a goal in big time moments for the Devils here. Can he kick one here? This is a good goal to put the Devils back in front, and that is through for that is no score at all. Out of bounds on the full here. 9-4-58 to the Wantirna South. 7-11-53. 19 minutes in to this third quarter, Chris.
So it was us a lot of himself there on the kick in. Just about handballed it to himself and did well to get rid of it eventually. Goes into the corridor. Montrose fumbled. Kaika here has to stand up in the tackle. Just put a handball into space. I believe that's Hunt. Just gets a hand to it. And Wong turns tackler on Smith. Couldn't quite affect it enough. Tennant's kick would drift out of bounds on the full.
And finally, Blake, Division 2. 20 minutes into the third quarter, Waverley Blues 9-5-59, leading Lilydale 5-5-35.
I believe we have boundary for comment, just quickly.
Out in the full from Heath Disney, as I can see it right from here. But Wong and Smith have just re-entered the field. I'll keep an eye out on who's gone to them, but currently they're gone pretty unmatched at the moment.
So it's Montrose's kick now as the out on the full free kick was returned in favour. So it's Ollie Wallace here, and he will just go down the line. Flying at it was Galbraith, couldn't quite take it himself. A lot of work to do here as Montrose intercept the handball. Brilliant tackle there on Bailey White by Deng Andrew.
I've got a feeling Hayden Smith, Blake, I think him and Lincoln Wong are running against each other at the moment.
And what a leap it was there from Muir. Demons just linking up by hands. There's that man in Smith, gets to Galbraith, just over the check side that will go straight into the waning arms of Jared Smith. He's got a few options now. The Devils, you can see they're looking to spread. Gee, look at the speed that Neop's got on this near wing, and he'll get the footy there if it gets out the back. And here he is. Neop looked to step inside, maybe bit off more than he could chew. Umpire says the ball was knocked down in the tackle, so fair play.
What a fantastic run to get to that position, though. If they had pulled that off, it would have been absolutely incredible football.
Yeah, it would have been an amazing clip for the socials. Here's Dinez, Rucks cancel each other out. Jake goes again, though, and he's just bustling through there. Wong throws it on the right boot. It's going to stay to the right, and it's yet another behind. It moves the Bendigo Bank scoreboard to Wantirna South 7-12-54. Montrose 9-4-58. It's just death by 1,000 cuts at the moment here from Wantirna South.
They're moving the ball so quickly, and Montrose is so slow.
Oh, and that's been absolutely spewed up. Cooper's going to waltz into a goal. How do you like that for a momentum shifter? Gee, Demons fans will not want to watch that anytime soon. Direct turnover from the kick-in, and Cole Cooper needed absolutely no invitation to wheel onto his right boot, play on after the intercept mark, and kick his third of the day.
I reckon he's had a dozen possessions this quarter, Cooper, with 2 excellent goals, and he's really he's leading the charge here for Wantirna South.
Well, he's going to be there for the whole final series if Wantirna South can progress through for this decider here. He's easily been the best player today. No questions asked so far. He's probably the #1 rated player, and Wantirna South finally get that lead back to him. So the Devils they're back in front at the moment. Hams gets a clearance kick, goes deep inside the forward 50. Great mark taken for the Devils. Intercept mark taken. Just on the outer wing where we are at the moment. Dinez just pushes off Galbraith, but just slipped over and have hands to the smother there. Tackled immediately, Galbraith. Here go the Demons again with Whittle. Whittle goes to short kick, goes to Tanzimat. He's going to go back, get a good look here. 23 minutes into this third quarter, the premiership quarter. Tanzimat plays on immediately to the pocket. Who's going to fly? Bateman was around this one. Milton as well. Dawkins, Collier Dawkins around this one here. Smith tackled deep inside the Demons forward 50. And the Devils, they'll be happy about that one.
Yeah, Collier Dawkins has gone out of the contest a little bit from about the 10-minute mark of the second quarter. He's got to try and get his mojo back here.
So we're deep inside the Demons forward line here. Tackled. It's going to be a ball up. Say probably about 20 metres out for the Demons goal here. They would love a goal on the brick of three-quarter time here for the grandstand finish here. Snap kick, that was by Disney. This one might just roll out, and it's smothered away by Hewitt, and that's going to be a boundary throw-in. Approaching the 24th minute mark at the moment. 9:4:58. Wantirna South 8:12:60. Premiership quarter, the third quarter. This is where games are won. And the Devils are well and truly on that at the moment. Galbraith gets it out the ruck. Here comes Hams. Hams gets it deep inside the forward 50. Dinez Nathan around this ball. He plays on here. This is in trouble. Snap around the corner by Watson. And it's a behind.
It's a let-off.
You're right, Chris. It is a let-off.
9:5:59. Wantirna South 8:12:60. 24 and a half minutes into this third quarter.
And just Nathan Dinez has been so consistent this whole season, but just some of his clearing kicks just haven't quite been up to scratch so far today. As this one goes over the top, legged flew at it. It'll come to ground level and wrapped up in the tackle immediately. And just one other thing from Wantirna South, the directive at halftime looks like they want to get a lot more run. You see, when they do take those marks inside defensive 50, Neop and Andrew are more than willing now in this third term to get around the outside and overlap and provide a handball option. So it's interesting to see, as opposed to the first half where they were very stagnant and staying quite deep in their defensive 50 all the time. So we'll have another ball up here. 25 gone. The Devils by a point. They've overturned a 19-point halftime margin here. A dumping tackle is going to be paid against the Devils, and that's Kyle Cooper who applied it.
I think the most galling thing for Montrose...
And this might be a card for Cooper if it is a dumping tackle, and that is about as brutal of a hit for Wantirna South as you could ask for. The man that has put the side, you can pretty much say, on his back in this third term, is now going to put his bum on the dugout bench for the next 15 minutes.
So that means he may not come back onto at least the 10-minute mark of the last quarter here.
That is a big miss for the Devils now.
Curveball.
Talk about the wind out of your sails. We'll see how they respond. And though, like you said, Brash, they won't have him for the better part of the first half of the final term, as they'll now look to the others to get their team going again, as the Demons look inside 50. Jake Dinez stands under it, got two hands, so couldn't quite take it cleanly. Now turning tackler is Kaika.
And this is where Wantirna South, they just can't afford to just let that upset their momentum here.
And Dinez won the hit up, but he went backwards. There's Wong. Got a handball out to Disney. Disney just hoofs it on the right boot. 2v2 contest there. Warner was around it, so too was Hewitt. Brought to ground level with a footy in hand is Smith. Now he'll get it off to a teammate, Bowden. The Demons working it forward. High dumping kick. Leggett will stand under it and take the mark and look at the run from Neop, like we just said. Neop now will backpedal. He's got one more in Dinez. Nathan Dinez. He's got Dylan Moore to his left. Instead looks inside a bit more. Gee, he's absolutely cooked the kick. Went straight over Brooke Caney's head. Now Neop has to make up for it. Went with a foot. Dylan Moore's effort in the tackle was nowhere near good enough. Figamali won't get there, but he falls in front of Collier Dawkins. Nathan Dinez bumped off the footy. There's Dylan Moore. His handball taken away by Collier Dawkins. Collier Dawkins now inside 50. They've got numbers. Big Jake Dinez across the front of the pack. Well done. Needed to affect that contest and did just that. Goes to the outer side. Mark taken. So a chance for the Devils now maybe to just slow it down a little bit. I believe this is Jared Smith with ball in hand. He's been good in this term, Jared Smith. And he'll just sink it onto the right boot out the back. Brilliant body work there from Fraser Smith. He'll just assess his options. They've really had the switch game taken away from the Montrose that we saw in that first term, as Deng Andrew will flight this one. No, but at the front, Mark taken there for the Demons, and they'll centre it. And it is at the most opportune time that the siren went. So there'll be no shot on goal, but that is the end of a much improved third quarter from Wantirna South. The Bendigo Bank scoreboard reads Wantirna South 8-12-60, leading Montrose by the finest of margins, just a single point as the Demons have 9-5-59 on the scoreboard. Before we go to our final break, we will take you through the goal kickers. Cole Cooper, 2 in that turn, takes his tally to 3, but we won't see him for a while with that yellow card late on. Jesse Warner's brought up 2, so too has Liam Hewitt. And then on the other side of things, there are singles to Jack O'Keefe. And for Montrose, it is 2 to Bailey White, and then singles to Hayden Smith, Riley Collier-Dawkins, Griffin Allen, Isaac Tantamat, and William Milton. Just a 1 goal in that quarter for the Demons. But we are going to go to our final break. When we return, we will hear from head coach of, I believe the Wantirna South Football Club, Jason Heffernan, for his comment on the 3 quarters that have transpired so far. But for now, it is the Wantirna South Devils by a point.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her 2 young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. And let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner, broke a finger high-fiving the ruckman, or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The superpower I'd love for a day is to fly.
If I could have a superpower for a day, it would be to time travel so I could go back and see how life was when my parents were young and stuff like that.
Be mind reading. It's always good to know what other people are thinking.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, their superpower is always providing compassionate care to families at their absolute time of need. Get to know the team at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Hi, I'm Ben Desson from Montrose Football Netball Club, and when I need a new kit for a night out, I head over to Eastland. But Eastland is more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been major partners of the Eastern Football Netball League since 2018. Thanks, Eastland.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season. Bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Wow, welcome back. It's the Eastland Match of the Round, the Sunday special down here, Division 1 Elimination Final. And what a last quarter we have for you installed on the Radio Eastern 98.1 and Facebook and YouTube. You can watch it right now. Turn it on now, because Wantirna South 8-12-60 to Montrose 9-5-59. What a last quarter. It's a 1-point ball game to the Wantirna South Devils at the moment. It's going to be an absolute ripping contest, I'm sure we do. We've got the full panel here, but we're going to throw it straight away to the man who loves talking about the scores around the ground, and that man is Josh Ward.
Not as much as you, particularly when it comes to a certain side.
Come on, Josh, read the score out.
Let's start off with Division 2. 3-quarter time out at Walker Park. It is the Waverley Blues 9-5-59, leading Lilydale 5-5-35. So still a sniff for Lilydale, but Waverley Blues holding sway for now, as our Upper Ferntree Infantry Gully against Knox. They lead 7-11-53 to the Falcons for 8:32, Blake.
Might have to brush you off there, Josh. Sorry, mate. We're going to cross down the boundary for a comment.
Yes, thank you very much, Blake. I've got Jason, senior coach of Wantirna South, with me. Hef, what was the energy like at the huddle, and what was the message?
Mate, the energy's good. So half-time, the boys knew what was happening. It was more about just putting that, knowing what it was, into action, and which they've done. So the energy's high. The feeling is really good. It's now back to level. Everything's going to make a difference this quarter. I hope our boys have got the confidence now that we're back in the game. They've thrown their best at us, but we can't just let it go, and they're not going to give us the game. So it's going to be a good one.
Awesome. I look forward to it.
Thanks,
cheers, Hef.
Thank you, Jared Banlin. Josh, for Division 3, so I don't know what's happened. What's happened?
In Division 4, Bulleen Templestowe at three-quarter time. They look set to play off in their first ever preliminary final in Division 4. They lead 14-9-93 to Fair Park 6-3-39. 6-3-39, and as mentioned, Upper Infantry Gully 52 lead, Knox 33, Blake.
I'm sorry, I'm going to brush you off again, Josh, but
that's okay.
Let's go to Ben Warren Smith on the boundary.
Yeah, it's all important down here at three-quarter time, and they're pretty up and about, the Montrose boys over with Brett Johnson and the D's there. They realise they lost their way a bit in that third term. The main message in this final quarter, they know they've got the breeze, but they can't let the breeze do it for them. Keep the composure, keep it moving. We have to lower our eyes, and transition footy is the key in this one. They've wanted this win all year. They wanted to be in this position at three-quarter time against a side that they did not beat once already this year. They want to put them to the sword, boys.
Yeah, look at the big following of the Demon Army there. Great sight there, just walking off at the moment. Josh, I'll get you on for Division 3rd.
As mentioned, Upper Ferntree Gully, it is 52 leading Knox 33 out at Wally Chew Reserve. I think that's a three-quarter time score as well, Blake.
Thank you, Josh. I'm sure you'll be sticking around telling us the important scores as well. Well, we might throw it off to Chris Quarters. He will take it away, the final quarter of this game. It's a one-point ball game to the Devils.
Balls aloft. It's all to play for here. It's all on the line. How bad do you want it? Lincoln Wong wants it bad. He's got first hands to the footy. Around it there is Leggett, who's been moved up around the contest in the absence of Kyle Cooper potentially. And the umpire will call for a ball up. So Rucks will go at it once more. Dinez and Galbraith. What a battle it's been. Galbraith throws it on the left boot, but it's extracted there by McMillan. Leggett's under it, has to go back with the flight. Good fist to it. He's Hunt around the footy. Will it sit up for him? He's grabbed it, spins away from one. Kick it, Jamie. The check side. It's going to fall short. Oh, and the mark's not been taken by Hewitt. It almost seemed a certainty. Not even the fans can believe it. There's plenty going on inside the forward 50. And it was Warner in the end, I think, that dropped the mark. What a move by Jamie Hunt, though.
But that was really well done by Hewitt there to win the stoppage.
And now it's still alive.
Finals football, let's go.
And it's almost like even the Demons defender thought that Warner would take the mark, but just dropped it in the end as footy's going to spill loose. There's Hunt, the highlight reel around it once more, but it's going to be extracted here. Dylan Moore's there, takes it cleanly, but then fumbles it. Collier Dawkins wrapped up in a tackle by Dylan Moore. Umpire will call for it.
Yeah, he's fumbled the ball quite a bit today, Dylan Moore. He's just lacking a little bit of touch at the moment.
So Dinez will go up for it. Galbraith goes over the top, gets a hand to it. Kiker around the footy. Look to get on the boot, couldn't quite do so. And tackle laid there by Kiker. He's not got a ton of possessions today, Ethan Kiker, but his pressure's been top. As the umpire calls for it again, so ball is in the air. Dinez wins this hit out. Real cagey start. Jake throws on the left boot, sinks it into an opponent's rib cage. Wong's kick goes off the left hand of Bowden, I believe, and now they're still working to extract the Montrose. They've done well to do just that. 2v2 contest, big win needed. Just spoiled towards the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in here. True centre wing on this near side.
Expect the umpires to let this go a little bit. I reckon some of these ticky touchwood decisions, the umpires are going to let the players play here.
The umpires have been sensational today.
They've controlled it well, and Watson couldn't quite get it. There's Dylan Moore, clean take that time, got on the right boot. Hunt was there, Leggett's roving, Sulas Hunt in pursuit. In fact, it'll go to ground level to flick out this handball. Fegan Marley just throws on the left boot. It's a bit of a squib kick inside 50. A lot of work to be done now for Warner. Hewitt's there too, was set upon immediately. Ball still to be won, Leggett's there, looking to bring it out on Montrose, just got fist to the footy. Kiker here, what a pick up on the left hand, flung a handball out. It's so scrappy inside the Devils forward 50, as there's O'Keefe turning tackler, he just sat on his man. And the umpire will call for it once more.
And if you can see sort of down the ground, if you're actually at the ground, it's really congested inside this contest. But once Montrose get it out, it's very open and spread.
So Warner in the ruck will be beaten up by Galbraith, whose kick will go straight towards the boundary line. Unlucky for him, finds the turf before, so we'll go to boundary side for comment.
Yeah, during the huddle, Jason Heffernan identified Hayden Smith as being a player who doesn't want to play man-on-man footy. Heath Disney seems to be the player closest to him. He's been following him around a little bit, paying attention to him.
So back to the game. Figure Marley gets a kick. And a mark taken by the big man in Jake Janez. His kicking boots hasn't been great today, so he just gets it on the boot. And again, he hasn't had the great of kicking boots today. Garthwaite tackled by 3 Devils. Where's this one going to be going? Nothing called. It might be a ball up. The Devils wanted holding the ball, but nothing called.
Does he almost need to just simplify it a bit today, Jake Janez? It's obviously not his day by foot. Maybe instead of just wheeling around, just get the fundamentals right.
So the 2 rucks going at it. Garthwaite gets a handball. This is good by the Demons. They've been good with getting the ball out of the attacking 50 of the Devils here. This one might roll away. Milton trying his heart out as always. Finds a good kick there by the Devils on the outer wing where we are. Smith around this ball here. He handballs. Back to Hams. Hams goes. He's got plenty of time. He's taken it through, bounces. Goes to Britton. Britton got Danez with him. Tackled immediately, and that's going to be holding the ball. It is.
And this is what we're talking about with the space that Montrose were going to have when they move the ball forward. But Wantirna are just so much quicker, so it's easier for them to get to play defensive to this kind of setup.
So McMillan. Devils good with this kick. Goes to Figure Marley, but Collier Dawkins with a colossal mark.
Started off well.
Gee, that's a big mark there by Collier Dawkins. Once again, Wantirna South are trying to surge.
So Collier Dawkins goes to Tennant. Tennant going to slow things down. 1 point ball game. 5 minutes into this last quarter here. On the Eastland matching around. Big game here. I'm sure you'll be in home here. Tackled by Allen. Gets it back to Allen. Allen with a hand pass. Goes to Hams. He might take the journey. Riley Hams sets home. And it's going to be out of bounds.
And the food.
Brash, do you reckon we'll get a quick transition out from Wantirna South now?
Yeah, we'll try that. I think they're going to go. They will back themselves in most roles of the game and plays now. What's going on here?
Yeah, what is going on?
The goal umpire actually put his arm up to signal that it was out of bounds, but then the field umpires come in and paid out of bounds on the full. The boundary umpires run in. Bit of confusion down here, but it looks like it's going to be on the full. But the goal umpire was the closest person to it, and he signalled out of bounds.
That was out of bounds.
Thank you for that, BWS. As Figure Marley's the target of this kick, and he'll take the mark fairly calmly. Just a few bodies setting up. There's big Jake Danez down the line. That's the target. And he got 2 hands to it. He was smothered, though, by his opponent in Bateman. And they'll just make its way over the boundary line. It's just a bit of territory taken for the Devils. Just over 6 minutes gone in this final term. Still 1 point in the margin. In a scrappy start. As Ruxago ready to go at it again. Danez and Bateman cancel each other out. Dylan Moore just flicked a handball out. They'll have to go backwards to go forwards, but they've got to go forwards eventually. They do now. Thrown on the right boot. O'Keefe's under it. Brought it to ground level well. Leg it there. Flicked a handball off to Wong. Wong lets to go one further to Jamie Hunt. Hunt was wrapped up immediately. Somehow got it on the right boot. Puts it in front of Wong for him to chase. And it's over the boundary line for a throw-in.
So it's a territory game versus a slower transition, like switch ball kind of game. That's what we're looking at here.
We are.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I'm just going to lock Caju now as we'll see if it opens up anytime soon, but Danez is in the ruck. They cancel each other out once more again. Fegan Marley bumped as he kicked. Hunt looks to go at it. Just a one-hand juggling mark there from Smith. That was Fraser on that occasion. Just chips it to a teammate in Andrew Carter. And he'll just assess his options before deciding to go inside. Mark taken there. And they'll return to sender here. Just a few uncontested marks here for Montrose. Nathan Dinez has a lot of ground to cover, though. Won't be able to get there. Galbraith wheels and goes. Gets away from Dylan Moore. He's got options inside forward 50. Reading it best, though, was the Devils' defence. And they've done well there in Heath Disney. Disney now will look to use a far side wing. Smith sits under it, takes the mark. There's plenty of jumpers from both sides flocking to the far side wing, so they'll just look to bring it back through Andrew. Nathan Dinez has a bit of space if he wants to move centrally. Otherwise, Dylan Moore's out on the wing. That kick will go towards him. Will it stay in? I reckon just about. Umpire says no. So taking the free kick will be Riley Britton here. And he looks like he's backing himself for a shot on goal. He's right up on the boundary line. Man on the mark stands about 40 out. So it'll be as tough as a kick as we've seen so far here today in our elimination final. But we are still awaiting our first score in this final term. Riley Britton wants to have his say about it. From about 48 out, the kick's on its way. It's online, but will it carry? Looks like it has.
Good
and
goal.
It has. Absolute belter of a kick there from Riley Britton as he gets goal number 23 for the season. And that one is the all-important first of the final term.
Really important goal there by Britton. That's a really good kick under pressure.
It's a big-time kick by a big-time player. Coming across from Croydon this year, Riley Britton. One of the best and fairest at Croydon. Now he's coming back to Montrose. As well, a couple of other Croydon boys too. So a 5-point ball game at the moment. Now it's time for the Devils to respond here. Bateman and Muir. Muir gets the hit out. Goes to Allen, to Wong. Wong goes deep inside the forward 50. What can the Devils do? Warner, he's been terrific all day. Tackled by Frith. Wong gets it out again. Bit of a high going there for Wallace there. And tackled immediately. It's going to be a ball up. But the Devils will be happy. It's in that right point of view here of the attacking 50. Approaching the 10-minute mark in the last quarter here. Kaika around this one here. Leggett trying to get off here. And what's going? It's a holding the ball free kick.
Yeah, I reckon I might have gone with the ball up there.
I reckon. Yeah, definitely a ball up there. I don't know what the pry was, but yeah. Anyway, my umpiring days are over, and that's a mark taken.
Could have just been because he had an arm free, I think.
So Whittle plays
Maybe
on
not.
here. Goes to Carter. Carter can go in short if he wants it. He's got a play down the back there. Doesn't use him.
Great move.
Goes to Britton. Britton plays on. Here we go. Deep inside the Demons forward 50. Nothing doing and a mark taken. That was by Kyle Taylor. And he's going to play on immediately here. They've just got to here for the Devils here. Disney takes a mark. Just on the pocket of their defensive 50 now. He's going to play on now. On the outer wing down here at Pink's Reserves. Kilsyth. Great mark taken. That was by Hewitt. Knows how to take a good mark. Is Liam Hewitt back into the team. Montrose Bayful giving him some nice encouragement. Plays on here. And that one might be out of bounds on the full. It will be. And it's going to go to Fraser Smith.
Got 11-minute mark. Is Cooper coming back on pretty soon?
Yeah, a minute or two.
Yep.
It's poor again from the Devils. Another kick that they had a long time to decide on that's drifted out of bounds. And out the back there was Taylor, but rising highest was Britton. What a sequence he's had over the last few minutes.
Yeah, he's had a good 5 minutes, Britton.
And he'll just chip one to the edge of forward 50. Mark taken and to the goals he points. So a chance now for Riley Hams.
That's Eels, my friend.
Jordan Neals, you're right, Brush.
And he's on the right side for a left-footer too. It's going to be a really important kick here because they've just stolen the run out of Wanty South's legs just in the last couple of minutes.
And he'll kick from the arc on a tight angle, but the right angle for a left footer. It's on its way. We'll have the carry, but it will be pulled right. So just a minor score now makes it a one-kick game. 6 points the margin. Bendigo Bank scoreboard reads on Turner South 8-12-60. Montrose 10-6-66. Just over 12 gone in this final term. Hewitt, the target of this kick. He has a lot of work to do. Did well to get a left hand to it, but couldn't bring it down. Bateman now with footy in hand. His kick smothered by Hunt. Flicks out a handball though. Fegan Marley in pursuit. He was body checked by Watson. Looking to get a handball out now was Allen. Still a lot of footy to be won. Montrose still with it. Galbraith, sensational. Put on the right boot. Dang Andrew. Clear run at the footy. Takes intercept mark.
He's been fantastic today.
He hasn't.
Great run, good intercepts.
Yeah, hasn't done much wrong.
And Andrew now will just take a few steps on the right boot, send it down. He's asking a lot of Caney down there, but Muir did well to bring it in ground in support. Now here's Caney, gave it back to Wong, who uncharacteristic fumble, but still kept it in bounds, gets it on the right boot. Kick just hard enough to get to Ethan Kika. Kika will look to play on and does so now. Left Collier Dawkins in the dust. Here's Jake Dinez now under it. Has a lot of work to do. Fantastic intercept mark, and it's again Fraser Smith. He's had countless of them so far today. Mark taken on the far side wing by Agnew. And he'll look inboard. G just overcooked the kick. Asked a lot of Bowden. Wheeling away now. They're chaining up through hands. There's Leggett. One more for the Devils. Kika couldn't quite see where the footy was, but it goes to Dylan Moore. Dylan Moore, one more to Caney. Caney back to Kika. Kika just threw it on the fist and hope for the best. And the best is at the ground level now for the right foot snap. And playing goalkeeper, taking the intercept mark. Brendan Gardle, as now he'll look to hands, but first we'll go to boundary side for comment.
Cooper back on the field.
There you go. So they've unleashed him now. Out of the sim bin, Cole Cooper. Got the yellow card. I reckon it was about the 25th minute mark of the third quarter, so you're spot on there. That's a big in for the Devils. And Nathan Dinez, what a player, what a star he is. And gives it off to that man in Cole Cooper, gets the hand pass. Demons have got 3 players around the back here if they want it here. Whittle goes to Hams. Hams has got time. The pressure's been elite by the Devils here. Hands back again. Tackled immediately. It's going to be a ball up. We've got a grandstand finish, I reckon, here.
Gee, I'm actually wondering whether we're entertaining extra time here at the moment.
Wouldn't that be great? I've got all night. So as this one goes around, this I might just roll out. I could stay here all night if I really want to. I love being in Kilsyth, so
I'm sure your work.
I'm glad you do.
I usually do stay here all night, Blake.
I'm sure your work will have something to say about it if you don't turn up tomorrow.
So
they celebrate,
go.
wouldn't they?
Boundary umpire throws this in. Bateman gets the kick. Allen around this ball. Cooper as well with him. Cooper been terrific. Goes to Wong. Wong goes deep inside the forward 50. Dinez is around this ball here, but same as Bowden. Bowden gets it out. Hewitt can kick it off the ground. Oh, handy point.
7-point play here. I tell you what, Wong has been really great in this quarter. I think him and Smith are cancelling each other out, and I think he's just been let off the leash now and it's really making an impact.
So the Demons now will take their time. It's a 5-point margin. 8-13-61 plays 10-6-66. Just over 15 gone in this final term, the Division 1 Elimination Final. Plenty of flyers at it, but now the ball needs to be won at ground level. Kika's around there once again. That's a high tackle. Gee, umpire must have had someone in his way, so not paid there. Will be a ball up.
That is as high a tackle as you can get.
So Muir with again another fantastic leap over the top. Leggett got it, gave it to Cooper. Cooper did a spin, stepped inside one, got it to Wong. Wong's chip kick would just find Riley Hams. Intercept mark taken. They'll look to go out this far side wing. G asked a lot of his teammate. Hunt has a lot to do now. It's a 1v1 contest, and now looking to wheel away with it is Smith. Just about got a handball off. All of these handballs are just dropping the grass, not really hitting targets. As now the kick inside, had to take a big leap, did so. Now a lot of work for the Demons to do. Jamie Hunt got a handball off. Plenty of bodies around the footy. One of them there is Quinn Clark. Bo Tennant caught one high. Nothing doing. Blake might get out of his chair and bat for his brother, but here's Lincoln Wong. Shot at goal, and it would again just drop to guard up. But there's a bit of free kick found that'll go the way of Liam Hewitt behind play.
That was the sling to the ground after play.
So a bit untoward there. They can't really figure out where the footy's supposed to go, but eventually they will get it to Liam Hewitt. So he'll be out of range from here. But he'll look to set someone up. So a couple lead up options, just dropped it to space, fell right to a Montrose defender. Collier Dawkins fumbled it, then got rid of a tackle. Now looks to go inboard, does so well to get it to Eels. Eels now assessing his options.
Gee, that was a complete waste of it. of a disposal there. He did so much wrong there with that one.
And Eels who just take territory with the kick. Good body work there to protect the drop zone.
Probably actually
from
more the
Cole
forwards
Taylor.
not moving and getting into the right spot.
So Nathan Dinez's kick. It's a late bump in there. Play on the call, so it'll just be a boundary throw in.
Intensity's lifted, even more so.
So we're on true centering here on the far side of Pink's reserve. 5 points the margin, going the way of Montrose.
Muir's going down into the forward line, so another tall down there for Wantirna.
So Bailey White in the ruck now for Montrose, and gee, he gets a holding free kick that goes his way, so a chance to go forward. And they're going to the middle to Garthwaite. Garthwaite looking to switch play and will do so. Carter takes the mark. Few options leading up. Shallow, but instead he'll look to go deep inside forward 50. 2v1, Deng Andrew the spare there. Got two hands to it. Didn't take the mark. Flicked a handball out, asking a lot of his teammate who's gone to ground. And will just make its way to the boundary line just outside the forward 50 arc of the Demons. So after 18, it is 5 points the margin.
Oh, we have got a grandstand finish here. 4th v 5th elimination final. There is no tomorrow. Dinez gets the kick. We'll have a good look at this, but Gardo, the general down back, the veteran, gets tackled immediately. Wong takes the advantage and plays on. This is really good by the Devils. Caney goes inside 50. 10 hands. Great mark.
Wrong option there by Caney.
Jesse Warner was in acres of space to his right.
So Bo Tennant takes the intercept grab. We're approaching time on, 19 minutes in to this last quarter. If you're at home watching this, stay with this game because we got a great 6 to 10 minutes at the moment. I reckon we'll be getting a 27-minute quarter. Goes inside. Agnew around this ball, gets tackled immediately. And it's a holding the ball free kick going to the Devils. 5 points is the margin at the moment. But that one wasn't a great kick and getting there first. Well done, Andrew Carter. So Andrew Carter plays on immediately. Goes to Hams. Hams tries to slow it down. He goes to the broadcast wing to Tennant. Been superb all day. Good mark taken. That was by Whittle. Whittle just trying to slow things down for the Demons. He goes inside looking for Britton. But Noip takes a great mark out the back there. Goes to Disney. Disney plays on. Looking for the captain in Dinez and Jake. Tackled immediately, it's going to be a ball up. What a great mark that was by Jock Noyop there. Well done by the young man.
So footy's about 55 out from the Demons uprights. Who's going to come away with it? Looks like the Devils, and it is through Jack O'Keefe. Just gets a check side inside. Tennant had to stand under it. Did well to do so. More flicks out a handball. The Devils have a bit of run here. They need to go inside 50. They do. Warner sat under it. Has a lot of work to do. Takes a mark. Played on. He's still got a lot of pressure. Bumped after the kick. And it'll be out on the full. He wants the downfield. I don't think it's been paid. No, it hasn't.
Gee, that could be that's a golden opportunity gone begging there.
So Andrew Carter will take responsibility of bringing the footy back into play as he goes to that far side. Seems like everyone at Pink's reserve is there. But the man standing tall is Jake Dinez. Massive pack mark. Goes back onto the left. That's a better kick inside 50. Just put it out inside in front of a teammate who's been collared. Free kick going the way of Jack O'Keefe. Well, he kicked one on his first attempt today, O'Keefe. And he's missed a couple gettable ones, but he needs this one to go through. His side needs this one to go through. It's little to no angle. Man on the mark stands at about 38 metres to 40 metres out.
It's actually 39.
Thanks. As O'Keefe now looking to read the wind. This is a massive kick now as we're into time on. 21:40 gone. A goal here puts his side 1 point to the good and restores the three-quarter time margin. Jack O'Keefe, what do you got? On the right boot, drifted left, another behind. Again, missed opportunity, 8 goals, 14. The Devils trail by 4 points.
Jeez. This is a grandstand game here. 4 points is the margin here. Both of these sides have thrown everything at it here. It's a 4-point ball game. They get it down here. Nathan Dinez will scoop this one up. He kicks it on his great boot that he's got here. Gets it off, tackled immediately. Figure Marley, can he be the man? Deep inside the forward 50 here. Garthwaite's going to be good here. Well done by Garthwaite. They were slotted off his own boot. 22 minutes into this final quarter. 10-6-66 to Wantirna South. 8-14-62. Approaching the 23rd minute here. I think we got a 4-minute quarter. I reckon there's 4 minutes to go here. Tackled by Galbraith. Jeez, this is a huge contest here. Dinez in the ruck, which is the man you want. Cooper, step around the corner. And it's through from behind. 3-point ball game here. Geez, if you're at home or you're on driving around, flick of the radio Eastland right now. 8-15-63 to Montrose, 10-6-66. We'll go to boundary for comment.
The amount of star jumps the Wantirna South coaching staff have done in the last 10 minutes is unbelievable. They're up, they're down. It's high intense down here at ground level.
Oh, big mark taken there on the wing by Harry Whittle. Just to calm it down a bit. It was assess his options forward of the footy. And just look to take territory. 3v3 under the footy. Nathan Dinez got worked under it. Andrew didn't read it as well as he probably should have. Taylor got it off it. Tanzamat takes it over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Speaking of grandstand finishes, the under 17.5A's boys junior grand final is currently 41 Blackburn to 35 East Ringwood towards the end of the third quarter. So it's going to go down the line too.
So Dinez throws it on the left boot, standing under a big mark and hit late was Tennant.
Gee, that is...
And he's come off best in that contest.
That's guts side there by all players concerned, because that could have been potentially very, very nasty.
Yeah, and Hewitt looks like he's copped the worst of that.
What a mark that was. Didn't even get hit.
I think all three players just had eyes for the footy, and
he's probably thinking, my God, I just got hit by a Mack truck.
I think it's the first time I've ever seen an umpire take a knee for an injured player.
So they're helping him up. It's a question of whether it'll be okay to continue.
Well,
wasn't a hit to the head, which is good. It was just, I think, the velocity at impact.
It's probably given another 30 to, at least another 30 seconds to time on.
So Tennant, after that spectacular intercept mark, will now just send it down the line. Jake Dinez, there he is, the big man again. Needs a clean disposal, goes in the middle. Lofted too much for Figa Marley. Bowden came over the top of the contest.
They're doing everything right, Wantirna South, but when they get it in their forward 50, they can't buy a goal for love nor money.
Dinez got the run at it. Watson burst through. Umpire calls for the ball. 25.5 gone. Get the feeling Wantirna South need a winner clearance, and they need one soon. Here's Hunt. Couldn't quite take it cleanly. Going to ground was Hams, wrapped up by Moore. The Devils won't mind this.
They might only get one.
The Demons won't mind, I should say.
They might only get one, possibly two more opportunities here, Wantirna South.
Galbraith did well in the ruck. Dinez, massive spoil off his kick, and then slung down Hams. Nothing paid. Collier Dawkins turned tackler. And what a defensive play from Riley Hams there. Stop the inside 50. Andrew Dinez with a big run up again, but it's Galbraith off the feet of Nathan Dinez this time. He's been up around the footy, and here's a foot race now. Who's going to win it? Bateman's there, but the boundary will take the footy.
Wasn't that a smart kick?
And Figa Marley a bit proppy behind play, but play will continue. Montrose just with a little bit of territory there. Wong's cocked the bump. Umpire's seen it. He'll get the free kick, and that's all she wrote. Wantirna South through their missed opportunities as the Montrose Demons win the Division 1 Elimination Final and book their spot next to Park Orchards next week. What a game, what a final term.
And Blake has just jumped out of his skin.
What a finish. Bendigo Bank scoreboard reads Wantirna South 8 goals, 15 behind, 63. Montrose 10-6. 66. It was a 3-point quarter from the Devils in the end, beaten out by the Demons. kicking 1 goal 1. So as cagey a finish as ever. What a finish, though. The Demons held on by the skin of their teeth. They were defensively brilliant all day. Wantirna South cannot say that they didn't have their chances.
No, you're right, Chris.
But in the end, what happens is what happens. 8 goals 15 is 8 goals 15. And Montrose will face off against Park Orchards next week.
Wow, that is a... I struggle to put words into this.
Breathe.
It's a great win, and yes, what a win it is by this footy club. You know, they've been down this year, and to win this one against a team they haven't beat all year, which is incredible to see, and they should be really proud of this moment. And the Demon Army would definitely wrap this one up in the song here, and just so proud of the group.
It's interesting you say that, Blake, because now they go into next week against another team that they haven't beat, Park Orchards. They're 0-2 against so far this season, so they'll be looking to replicate that surprise win. But we'll take through the goal kickers before I'm sure our boundary riders will get some players for a quick chat. In the end, it was Cole Cooper leading the way for Wantirna South with 3. There was also 2 goals to Jesse Warner and Liam Hewitt, and then just a single to Jack O'Keefe in the end. And on the winning side of things for Montrose, it was 2 to Bailey White in that first half, and then singles, really spreading the love. Hayden Smith, Riley Collier-Dawkins, Tyrone Galbraith, Griffin Allen, Isaac Tantamat, Riley Britton, Bailey Bateman, and Will Minton. In the end, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different goal kickers for the Montrose Footy Club. Like you heard from Blake, what a win, and for Wantirna South, they'll be absolutely kicking themselves. A heartbreaking loss in the end from what looked like such a promising second half display.
Well, they did everything right, Wantirna South, but as soon as they got the ball into their forward 50, they just couldn't score, Chris, in the end.
That's exactly right, Bryson. I think it's important that you look at the way that the footy was entering forward 50. We saw first quarter and first half, Montrose are just lacing out their teammates on the short 45s, but for Wantirna South, it just felt like, I'm not sure if it was a synergy or if even you have to credit, the Montrose defence. They were touch tight all game, but they just couldn't seem to find that space, couldn't seem to find that leading lane. And even when they did, and 23 scoring shots, you have to look at it and just say, well, they did enough, but in the end, they couldn't put it on the scoreboard, and that's where it matters.
And they had to work really hard in that third quarter to actually get back into the contest. Let's go boundary side, I believe.
Gentlemen, we've got
We'll
Bailey
face
White,
the grandstand, boys.
Bailey White and Brendan Gardo here, folks. Bailey, it's a fine line in footy between agony and ecstasy, and I'm sure you've experienced both throughout your career. How does this feel?
Oh, it's unreal, honestly. For the boys to hang on late there was a few massive efforts, a few big marks on the wing, and a few smart plays to sort of hold it in. And I thought our pressure was good all day. I knew we just had to hang in there for the game and then see it out to the end, and I thought we did that awesome all day. Awesome to get the win. Unreal.
Absolutely, and to best Wantirna South, who beaten you twice before this year. You just sort of got it across the line in the most exciting of fashions. That's fantastic.
Yeah, they're a quality side, Wanty South, and super impressive for them to come up into the division like they didn't miss a beat. Super physical side. So we knew they were going to bring the heat, which they did all day. So full credit to them.
And a word on Ty Galbraith's game as well.
Yeah, he's massive for us. We all love him. Whatever role you ask him to play, he just goes out there and plays it. Today it was in the ruck with no Big O, obviously, and I thought he did a massive job for us. Awesome mate to play with.
Awesome. I'll throw to you, BWS.
Congratulations, Brendan, mate. I called you in the 2013 Grand Final, and now here you are still playing footy and playing good footy as well. What is it like playing with a group of boys like this, and where does this win rank in your game's history?
Oh, mate, these kids are just so good. They're so young. The talent in this list is just unbelievable. They're all, you think they're 22, 27. They're actually all, some of them are 7. There's one 17-year-old out there today playing out there, Milky. We had 3 18-year-olds. It's just unbelievable the talent that the club's got. And I'm just along for the ride. I'm helping them develop them as much as I can, and whatever I can do to help us get over the line each week, that's it.
How was that last 10 or so minutes? Wantirna South, they were really peppering, but you guys, there was Jono really wanted you to have composure in that last quarter, and you boys really stood up.
Yeah, we've been working on that at training a little bit, especially the last couple of weeks, about just holding on to the ball when we need to and just sort of hitting in and hitting there. And to be honest, mate, I live for those moments down back. I love those 5 minutes where it's just do or die. That's the best part about playing footy as a backman, if you ask me.
And you got the family here today?
Yeah, I got all the kids here. Yeah, all the boys are here. I got me 3 boys here. Yeah, they come every week and they love it. And, you know, that's why I keep doing it, because I love it.
Good luck, mate, for the rest of the finals, and looking forward to calling these little fellas later on in their career.
Pretty handy, so I reckon you might see a few of them at some point. So, yeah, thanks, mate.
Go and celebrate.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Excellent work from our boundary riders down there. Blake Tennant's gone missing. That's
has he?
Concerning.
Surprise!
Are we shocked?
He left the building so quick, I thought he was going to go over the balcony.
We'd like to file a missing persons report for B. Tennant.
No, I think we know where he is.
So, yeah, I'm sure we'll try and get the...
I bet you he's right in the middle of that circle singing the score. He's singing the song.
I'd hate to see whatever video pops up in the socials later today from a Montrose perspective.
He's interjecting himself Davis Harrigan style.
Here's the song.
What do we think of Blakey? He's all right.
All right, so we got most of the song there, thanks to Tobin Brothers. You can hear it there, though, the passion in the voices. An absolutely monstrous win for Montrose. I'll throw it to you, Josh, Em, Brush. What can we expect to see now in terms of that matchup next week? As I mentioned before, Park Orchard's 2-0 in the season over the Demons. I know there's question marks over whether Macanuni will be there next week or whether he'll be there at all for the remainder of this season. What can we kind of expect as an early preview to that semi-final?
Well, okay. I always said that I did say to Blake that Montrose's path to the final series, right, and further progressment has to go through Park Orchards, and it's a big mountain for them to climb next week, because Park Orchards, let's be honest, they've had it over them for such a long time. This win will give at least Montrose some belief in moving into next week's game.
Well, the thing is, Park Orchards, they play a very similar game style to the way that Wantirna South are playing. So that includes the congesting the middle of the ground and then spreading either defensively or offensively. So they're going up against that similar game style. Is the game here or is it elsewhere? Do we have information?
It'll be here at Pink's next weekend.
It'll be here at Pink's, so there's lots of space for that to happen. The reality is, I reckon there's a bit of a challenge for Montrose. Wantirna had possession for most of the game in this game. They just didn't convert it.
Yep.
And Park Orchards have a lot more consistency or more depth in their playing list in comparison to what I saw today with Wantirna. So I think it'll be a very, very big challenge for Montrose next week. One that definitely they're up for.
Yeah.
But it will be a very big game for them.
Most definitely.
Yeah, exactly right.
It will be.
Good chat. Thanks, guys.
Hey,
yep.
Look who's back. To add? Well, if you want to add to it, Park Orchards, Montrose have never beaten Park Orchards in their history. So I think Park Orchards are 7-0 at the moment here. So that's a big win. And just being in the rooms, just the vibe, everyone's up and about. And that's an all-time finals win. They did it again in 2022. So it was incredible.
It's a great feeling, finals. I remember last year.
Does that mean you're not going to work tomorrow, Blake?
Definitely. Well, I did drive. I might just park my car in the footy club.
Isn't your boss Mr. Kiker?
I was going to say.
I'm sure he'll be feeling a bit down, but no, he'll be all right. I think
you know what? He's going to punish you tomorrow.
Extra work.
But all I'm saying is, the Devils, we've got to, they were terrific this year. They were on top of the ladder. I think midway from the start of the year, I think they were pretty much on top of the ladder, and just wasn't their day today. I thought their kicking in towards the forward 50 may have needed a bit more work there as well, and they'll be really happy. And Kyle Cooper, I hope that guy stays around because he was absolutely terrific for the Devils. So. Where do we go?
I think do we want to go? Well, if Lee Green's starting to pack down. So, but did we want to? Well,
we do our 3-2-1.
Yes, we still have to cryo stay on best on ground.
We don't have to stay till 5 o'clock.
Usually, no, we're still on air until 5:15. Unfortunately.
So what we'll do is we don't have Brett Davidson here today. He's usually first. So since he's not here, would anyone like to
I'll
volunteer?
kick us off. I'll
All right,
go.
Chris
All right.
Cordes, take it away.
These are three names that I'm sure the listeners are going to hear a
Right, who's
lot of
putting them
in the
together?
next minutes.
You are.
No, I think it should be Blake.
I think it should be Blake. I
As
did
the
it last
lead
time.
caller today,
Yeah.
as the main
Really
man.
fantastic job today, Blake.
All right, so 3, 2, 1. I've gone 1 vote to Cole Cooper. I know probably a bit stiff that he doesn't have more, but he was absolutely brilliant. We know how good he was just in a losing side. I think there was some pillars in that Montrose list that were just so important to their win that I couldn't, really justify giving them just 1 vote. Mentioning those guys, 2 votes, Fraser Smith. I thought especially in that second half when they were up against it, so much territory against them. The footy was just living in their defensive 50, in their defensive half. The amount of intercept marks, even his use by foot, his disposal efficiency, fantastic. Even in the big moments, standing up, laying a tackle, whatever he had to do, fantastic. And then surprise, surprise, 3 votes, Ty Galbraith. I mean, to go up against one of the best rucks in this competition, especially when you're filling in for one of the best rucks in this competition, is no easy task. And I think the way he went about it, just playing to his strengths, not just trying to go up against body on Jake Dinez. And I think it's easy when you're a fill-in and you're going against someone that prolific in your position to just kind of use it as an excuse and say, oh, well, he's going to get the better of me anyway. But I think at ground level, pushing forward, even in the ruck contest, he was absolutely bloody brilliant today, and he gets my 3 votes.
Wayne Brasher?
Yeah, look, Chris, I think I echo your thoughts. I'm giving 1 to Kyle Cooper. Actually, I sort of think that Wantirna South's run in that contest went when he went off the ground. I think they lost their momentum a little bit. They could have carried another couple of goals or 2 into that final quarter if he had stayed on. 2 votes. I tossed and turned between Smith and Galbraith. I'm going to go 2 with Galbraith only because I thought that Dinez really did try to impose himself around the ground for the majority afternoon. And Galbraith, he gave as good as he could get. And I thought he was really excellent early. And Fraser Smith, centre half back, I mean, I've watched him play games at Croydon where he's just taken mark after mark and just set them up from behind. Once again, he was extraordinary again this afternoon. He gets me 3 votes.
Yep. Emily Mackay?
I've got Galbraith for 1.
Yep.
It's just echoing the same thoughts that you guys have had. And then I think, maybe I'm getting biased here, I give Tennant votes every single game. And
Really?
that annoys me because,
Why?
well, it annoys me because he's related to Blake. And
Wow. He's Nick Tennant's son too.
I think that his role in the back line, playing that spare, coordinating the back line, I think he does a fantastic job and did a fantastic job providing that run and work out of defensive 50. So he gets 2. And then I had Dinez for 3.
Which one? There's 2.
Jake?
Jake.
Yep.
Jake?
The ruckman.
Yep, that's fair. Good call.
Yep.
We might go to Josh Ward.
Had a hard time with my 3-2-1 actually, but I am going to give 1 vote to Cole Cooper. You can see why he's played VFL footy this season and had a great season with East Brighton last year. He gets my 1 vote. I'm actually going the exact same as Brash. 2 votes to Ty Galbraith and 3 votes to Fraser Smith. He always stands out, does Fraser. And apologies as well to Bo Tennant, who I thought played a key role alongside Fraser.
I will let him know that tonight.
Yeah, he was just close, but I wanted to fit in one Montrose South player because, I mean, three players for Montrose wouldn't do justice to this game, but Cole Cooper was probably the most influential for the Devils.
Yep, Jared Beanland.
Thanks, Blake. I think I agree that Kyle Cooper probably does get burst on ground for Wantirna South, but I do want to throw in Heath Disney for a vote. But I find it really hard to take anything else away from Fraser Smith for 2 and Tyrone Galbraith for 3. And I'll pass it to Spider as well, guys.
Yeah, so
look,
just
to confirm.
Just doing. Sorry, 1 sec, Spider. Just getting up these votes here. Got 5. Yeah, Galbraith is the leader at the moment. Back to you, Spider.
If the Devils had won, the votes certainly would have changed. But I'm actually going all 3 from the winning side. I'm actually giving 1 vote to Riley Britton. I actually thought some of his work, and particularly his last quarter, and kicking that clutch goal, but just his work throughout the course of the day, his ability, to do some really hard work. I thought he was really important to the way that they played. So I'll give Britton 1 vote. Fraser Smith, he was just terrific, particularly in that last quarter. Some of those marks, some of those intercepts were just fantastic, but generally just a four-quarter performance from him down. He just really held the defence together for the bulk of the afternoon, and I think you go with Galbraith for the best player on the ground. The job that he had this afternoon, it was a big role that he had to play, and I think he handled it accordingly, and he was the best player on the ground for me.
Ben Warren-Smith.
Adrenaline still pumping after being involved down that at ground level. Don't get to do it too often, but that was something special. And I think I was the only person to pick Montrose today.
Yeah, the boys did let me know down there about my tip.
Did you tip Wantirna South?
I did tip Wantirna South.
Why would you do that?
Mate, how much faith do you have in your side?
I've been picking my club in finals every week.
Put it this way, I'm a mutual supporter.
That is the biggest amount of rubbish I've ever heard in my entire life.
I'm on the lines of Jared as well, and what we see sometimes is a little bit different from up here.
I
But
like different.
I thought Heath Disney's game was fantastic today for Wantirna South, and he was a four-quarter performer. He gets my one vote. I couldn't squeeze in Kyle Cooper. Yes, he was electric, and he kicked 3 goals, and he was super, and really turned that game on in the third term, but let his side down by going off. So he doesn't get in my votes today. 2 votes go the way of the big man, Tyre and Galbraith. Thought he was absolutely super, but Fraser Smith, watched him come on and off, and just at all the stoppages, even the work and the leadership that he shows when he's off the ground barking orders. He's got a heavily strapped left leg as well. His work rate absolutely super today. 3 votes.
Yeah, we might go to James Gunn.
I'm going a bit of an odd one here. I'm going for Fraser Smith for the one. I felt like, especially in that last quarter where Montrose under the pump for Monturna's rush to try to get that lead, I feel like he held well. For 2, I'm going for Ty Galbraith. He was absolutely phenomenal all day. But for 3, I'm going with Nathan Deans. I feel like Dinez, sorry.
Yep.
Apologies for that.
Nah, you're all good.
Dinez, he was phenomenal for Wantirna South. He kept them in it all day, and I feel like he deserves the 3 votes.
Yep. I think I'm the last one, am I? Yep.
Yes, of course, as it should be.
Drum roll, please, Lee.
This is going to be it was a hard one here. I think I'm going to go right here, right now. I'm going to go Cooper for 1. I thought he was terrific. A midfielder kicking 3 goals. He's absolutely superb. So he gets that. Now, this is a little bit biased here, and I know he is my brother, but I'm going to go Bo Tennant for 2 votes here. I thought he was terrific. That mark that he took against Liam Hewitt, that was
season saving.
That's
season saving.
That is an incredible mark, and you know, I've been one of his biggest supporters here, and he has grown. I coached him for 3 games.
Taught him everything he knows.
Really?
And, he's grown as a footballer, and he's going to be a very good footballer next year. And being in the ruck for Big Oscar, he's had to put a lot of trust in him, and this man deserves it. And Ty Galbraith, he gets the 3 for me, and he walks away with the Cryo Stay Young voucher as well. He got a lot of votes there. I'm sure Chris is counting that one
21.
too. But he clearly won that.
It would have been close between him and Fraser Smith. How many votes did Fraser get?
17. 17, 18, I think.
But they do win a $50 Cryo Stay Young gift voucher as well. And,
I'm so glad I didn't do votes because I got that wrong.
But, yeah, well done to Ty, and he deserves it. He was terrific early stages. But we might take a quick break here on the Eastland match of the round here. And if you just join us, the Demons got home here by 3 points over the Devils.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her 2 young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. And let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The superpower I'd love for a day is to fly.
If I could have a superpower for a day, it would be to time travel so I could go back and see how life was when my parents were young and stuff like that.
Be mind reading. It's always good to know what other people are thinking.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, their superpower is always providing compassionate care to families at their absolute time of need. Get to know the team at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Hi, I'm Ben Desson from Montrose Football Netball Club, and when I need a new kit for a night out, I head over to Eastland. But Eastland is more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been major partners of the Eastern Football Netball League since 2018. Thanks, Eastland.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 match of the day coverage.
Yes, welcome back. The Eastland match of the round down here at Pinks Preserve, Kilsyth, and what a thriller it was. It was the Demons prevailing over the Devils here, 10-6-66 to Wantirna South, 8-15-63. A massive win for Montrose, considering the coming into the game, there was a few doubts, including me. I'm happy to put my hand up as well, but they have just prevailed through, and they've got a date with the Sharks next week in Park Orchards. This is the post-game show, all presented by Eastland. We might just go through. We'll throw it off to our scores man in Josh Ward, and what we'll do is we might throw you off, Josh, and then we'll talk about the games and what happens next week. So we'll throw you off whatever game you pick, Josh. You pick.
Absolutely, and a result that'll put a smile on Chris Cordes' face, as you can see on the camera right now, is the one out at Walker Park, and the Waverley Blues have kept their season alive against a plucky Lilydale outfit. 12-6-78, the Blues defeating Lilydale 7-8-50. It was 15
the adopted team.
Yes.
So
it was 14 points at one stage in that final quarter as well, Blakey.
And just to put this through, so the Waverley Blues have a date with the Mulgrave Lions, so that will be next Sunday. But that's an impressive win. And I don't know, you're the Waverley Blues, man. I'm going to throw it off to you here. How many wins in a row is that? Because they've had a few big wins in a row for Waverley, because that's a big win by them. Josh, you might know, but
I think they've won their last 4.
Yeah, I'm having a look through now. It's their last six. In fact, they've won. Their last loss, unfortunately, came against Mulgrave by 65 points. Although the Lions were a much different side back then.
Now I'm going to ask you guys this question, and as well, Am as well. I'm just going to put it out here. Can we see Waverley get an upset against Mulgrave? Because Mulgrave, they were disappointing last week.
Yesterday,
sorry.
It
definitely, that's right. They're right in the mix, Waverley Blues.
Yeah, they're 100%. With Tilliard out, I think that hurts.
And I think I agreed with Davo during that game. They just lost the structure of what this Waverley Blues side has been. So that's a disappointing loss for Mulgrave, and a confidence win for Waverley Blues, because they've got a lot of riding on this game next Sunday, and I think they will get the job done against Mulgrave. So Waverley for me. Division 3, Josh Ward.
Yes, Upper Ferntree Gully booked their ticket to a preliminary final. Defeated with players out, it must be said as well, including Trav Strange. They knocked off Knox comfortably as well out at Wally 2, 11-14-80 to the Falcons, 6-10-46. So they face the Basin once again in next weekend's preliminary final, next Saturday out of Wally 2 reserves.
That's a respectful sort of win, because
such a big win for your players that have come in for as replacements.
Yeah, well, it just shows, because if you have a look at the reserves and 19s, they're all playing in big finals as well. Yep. So it just shows to the coaching group in Chris Fletcher that, hey, these players can stand up for you in the big games, because I heard Trav Strange, it could be a long-term injury. So if he's
Fingers crossed for him.
Yeah, because I did speak to the president down there. So that's a big win for Upper Gully, and much needed sort of win for them, because
we call it character building. That's what we call it.
Yeah, so that's a big win. So they're going to be up against Basin tomorrow. But the thing is, the way they talk about it, the Basin scored 41 points yesterday against Domvale, so they can look at something there.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Blake, keep that in its perspective. It wasn't a really high-scoring game either, that game yesterday.
Yeah. So that's next week. So the Basin will play Upper Gully. Josh, you got the Division 4 scores?
Yes, and history made out at East Ringwood Reserve. The Bull Ants in their first senior final in the EFNL have knocked off Fair Park and in some way as well, sending a message to Chirnside Park, who they meet next Sunday in the preliminary final for Division 4. 17-11-113, the Lions 10-4-64.
They'll be a bit nervous, I reckon, Chirnside next
Well,
week.
Brush and Josh, I'm going to throw it off to you two, since you're talking heavily about Bull Ant Templestowe. I'll start off with you, Brush, because you've been heavily on Bull Ant Templestowe. I think since November last year, because we did our Division 4 review podcast, and you were saying that they will be the premiers, and well, they're in a pretty good spot at the moment to go all the way in grand final.
Well, they are, and look, today, they had to work hard against Fair Park in the last round of the season. And they obviously learned some lessons, because they come out and they've done more than a job on Fair Park again this afternoon. And look, Chirnside I've had a look at their finals record. It's not good.
It's only one finals win two finals wins since 2022, and
they do get a bit jittery, Chirnside, and so if Bull Ant Temp can get out to an early, 3 or 4 goal lead, and we've watched them a bit this year. We've watched them a bit. They're a really good front-running side when they're on their game. Chirnside are going to have to play out of their skin, I reckon, next week.
Well, the last time these two met out of Kimberley Reserve, it was a wind-affected game, and it was the Bull Ants who put together a massive victory out of Kimberley Reserve, nonetheless, as well, against Chirnside Park, who had players missing that day. I think Dylan Causey played yesterday, and he didn't play in that contest. Potentially James Valley. I know they had some players missing from that contest, but I think the Bull Ants, I think they can knock them off. It could be the same old story for Chirnside Park.
See, the thing is, right, everything's a free hit for Bull Ant Temp here. The pressure will be more on Chirnside than it will be Bull Ant Temp.
Yeah,
I 100% agree, because Chirnside Park, we had a chat to him on this ground right here about, how they're positioning with the ladder and all that, but they are sort of been that white horse sort of team for this contest here. So I'm not going to do my tip right now, but
no.
I think it's a 50-50.
No, you'll do it at 5 p.m. Friday.
Oh, well, I've been pretty good, Josh. It's just that
you have been.
He's a busy man, Josh.
You and Ryan have just been screwing my tips over, and I'm going to say that right now, because I tipped Tom.
Why is it me? It's Ryan who receives the tips.
Actually, Chris is really lucky, because halfway during the last quarter, I was going to sneak in that Lilydale were down by 9 points.
I was aware of that.
He was nearly having heart palpitations.
Never in doubt. Never in doubt.
Just on back to it here.
And I reckon if I had gone with that, I would have got a nice little bruise on my right shoulder.
Just on the Bull Ants, though, I think we've got to talk about it. This is a great story.
Oh, it's fantastic.
They've been in the competition for a year now, and now they've booked themselves into a prelim. The 19s are into a prelim too.
Their reserves just fell short today as well to Kilsyth.
So they're done. So that's a big upset in the reserves.
And I actually reckon where it will. I agree with you, Blake, and I think where it could play, it might actually give clubs like Croydon North, Lock, Nunawading, and probably Doncaster, those three sides, it actually sells them a little bit of hope
100%.
moving forward.
Yep,
it does.
So we've done those results, but we might talk about next week, because it's finals galore right now. Finals footy returns for all divisions. We'll give it off with Premier. Obviously, we've heavily talked about Div 1 here and Div 2, Div 3, Div 4. So the qualifying final is this, right? Rover will take on Vermont. That will be played at Jubilee Park.
It will be.
We might. I'm not going to say it. We might.
I think at this stage it's highly likely we'll be at that contest because as we always do in the final couple of weeks of the season, we normally head out to watch the Premier Division qualifying final. I think we can get our man Lee Green to confirm that.
Yeah, so next week will be Jubilee because we've also then got the
women's grand final.
Yes. Out at Heathmont.
It's a big day.
And it's perfect for me because I go set stuff up at Jubilee, then to Heathmont, then back to Jubilee, and it's great. But we'll also have the women's finals down at Mulgrave.
Quickly talk about the women's finals before we get into the elimination. So, H.E. Parker, a massive day of footy down there as well. We start off with Division 4, Warrandyte taking on Wantirna South, and Wantirna South progressed through in that semi-final. So, that will be kicking off at 10 o'clock. That's the first game. Then we move to the first division game. That will be played at 12:30 at H.E. Parker Reserve. Bowen, the undefeated side, will be going off against East Ringwood. It was a straight sets but knocks. So East Ringwood, they will be playing off in the grand final. That will be kicking off at 12:30. And then we got the main game, the Premier Women's Grand Final as well. It is played between Park Orchards. They're going for the exclusive three-peat. Can you believe it? They're going for a three-peat. They won First Division in 24. They won Premier last year. And now they're going to go back-to-back in Premier and also get that three-peat.
Potentially.
And they're going to be playing against Baronia, who finished 4th on the ladder. So that's a great rise for Baronia. So
South Croydon go
straight sets once again.
Yep, so
did we want to go through the grand finals at Mulgrave Reserve as well?
Yes, I'll go through it as well. So Division, I think kicks off with Division 5.
Division 5.
Yep, Templestowe taking on Upper Ferntree Gully. So that will be the first game. I don't know the time off the top of my head.
All games will be start at 10 a.m, 12:15, I believe.
Yeah, and then Division 3, first time ever South Croydon's red. So the second South Croydon side will play off against North Ringwood. So two sides that have had both teams going at it there. That's Division 3. Division 2, yes.
You've got
I'll have a monitor. Let's just say I'll be having a monitor on at H.E. Parker Reserve because I will be there at H.E. Parker. But that is played between Montrose.
Hang on, you say you'll have a monitor.
Yeah.
You'll have his iPad.
I'll have
fair enough.
and then it's Montrose taking on Heathmont.
Yes.
So Blackburn lost in straight sets for the second straight year in a row. So that's a big one there as well. And I believe the Vets Women's will be on straight after that.
Yes.
That's the twilight game.
And then
H.E. Parker same time.
That is a terrific memory, Blake. Absolutely fantastic.
Yes, because I've been around, you know.
He has called a few. He did do the pod in my place last year, and be sure to check out our Female Footy Focus during the week as well.
I might jump on this week.
You know what, every time he says I've been around, it makes it sound like he's been around longer than Brash. Like 50 years in the league.
And Ray as well, who wins
it's just great to see so much time and effort being put into the women's game as well. And, you know, we do have our live broadcast on YouTube 100%. On a Saturday morning every single week as well. So, you know, there's a lot of women's football that's available for us to watch.
That'd be like me saying I'm making my special comment debut at 64.
And just as well, just the Premier Division men's side of things. Elimination final. It's Blackburn taking on Doncaster East. That is played at Edward Flack Reserve.
That's going to be the first time they're hosting finals as well, Derek.
That's going to be a rip. I actually reckon that's going to be the match of the weekend because I reckon both those sides are really evenly matched.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to seeing that one as well. So that's the previews. I'm sure you'll hear from the weekend forecast. That'll be out on Friday. EFNL Insight. I don't know if we're back.
Yeah, we need to speak with our very busy media manager. Who shout out to him and Brett Davidson today. They were out at the junior grand finals, calling Blackburn and East Ringwood, and I think Blackburn, they were up in the under 17s and they won the under 18s as well.
Final score was 60-43.
Good game in the end.
Yep, so we might wrap things up here as well.
Jeez, you've gone early.
Nah, but we've got a full crew here, Josh. I don't know. I'm going to go through a lot of names here, which I'm really happy to
early
as well. I might just go...
I thought you might have mentioned the Doncaster East Blackburn final next week.
Moving on.
We did. We did. All right, so I'll leave you to last because you're important. So...
He was only boundary today.
And I'm going to go it off Wayne Brasher, Emily Mackay. Terrific job on special comments today.
Thank you very much.
I'd say thank you. I'm heartbroken after that comment.
And the winner is Montrose.
Josh Ward, Scores?
Nah, pleasure as always, Blakey. Congratulations, obviously, to Montrose. And, well, it's going to be a massive weekend ahead. We're very much looking forward to it as well.
Matt Spider Lee, thank you for coming. Pre-game, half-time. Your mic's off, sorry.
I think his mic's off.
For Montrose, and they get a crack at it again next week, but Wantirna South, they'll take something from this game and into next year after they've had a pretty good season.
Ben Warren-Smith and Jared Beanland on the boundary today. Terrific work.
Absolutely. It was so good to be at ground level for such a high-intensity, high-pressure game.
Who was the player that you interviewed? Because unfortunately, I was downstairs.
We got Bailey White and Brendan Gardolf.
Oh, terrific. Two great people. James Gunnan as well on half-time.
Yes, not bad. Thank you again for having me on last minute, actually, but I was glad to be back on. And your women's are not winning next week. Up the Cheddars.
Oh, man. Can I just say, Blake, can I just say how good it was just watching in the last 10 or 15 minutes or so, both sides of players out on the ground having a beer together. You only get that sort of thing here at local footy, and that camaraderie and like not the hatred or like just like.
Well, it's all love.
Yeah, and they're mates. They play footy together alongside in long careers for ages. So it's just great to see that sort of thing
100%.
after a cutthroat final as well when emotions are high.
Well, they're two respected clubs. You know, they've got a lot of passion involved here. We all saw the Devils, how they came in. It was like two massive fan bases just talking with each other at the quarter-time break.
Okay, Puff and Billy's arrived.
two. I think that's telling me to get a move on here, and I'm going to give this man here what you did in that last quarter. I could have easily. I was just watching as a spectator. I thought then as well. But Chris Cordes, you are a star, mate. Terrific call, and I'm hoping to see you plenty more in these final series, mate. Terrific call, and hopefully we get to see you back next week.
No, thank you very much, Blakey. Pleasure to be alongside you again, and it's easy to call the game that got that exciting at the end. But for you, mate, hosting today,
cool.
I'll definitely be going down to the Montrose Footy Club tonight.
Main man today, Blake Tennant. Main man.
But
big responsibility. Well done.
Yeah, but big win by Montrose as well, and I'll talk about it a bit more detail. But the Demons prevailed here on the Eastland match of the round to LKLM Media. Terrific job. You had Megan down at Knox today. And you got
the Hurricane.
John
on camera here, but also 10 other guys, 11 other guys at all the other junior finals doing those.
Best in the business. The Demons prevailed 3 points. This is the Eastland match of the round. Thanks for tuning in.
Hit the post.